What up, Couch Gang and Couch Potatoes? Welcome back to BITO'S Couch Potato Podcast. It's an honor and a pleasure to open this up, man, with the Couch Potato Podcast and having my man, Mr. Walking with a Jazz Walk, Mr. Picador. You gonna get what you looking for, the underdog, and last but not least, the man who will give you a 10-piece. Simple man, man. But them lyrics is not simple, man. How we doing, my brother?
Good dog. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. That's like a wrestler introduction right there, bro. I like that.
You like that promo?
Yeah, yeah, bro. I like that. You definitely put that together. That's fire.
I had to do it right, man.
Appreciate
I
it.
had to
Thank you
do it
for
right.
having me, dog.
Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for coming. You're one of the fourth people I think I've had on this, and you're actually the first rapper I had, man. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming, dog.
Dope, dope. Thank you. Appreciate you having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
Is the connection good? You still? I'm not freezing, right?
nope, nope. We're good, man. We're good, man. We're good. So like, we just
Okay.
gonna hop right into things, man. So it's like, tell the people a little about yourself, man. Let the people know what you do, where you from, how long you've been doing this, man. It's just an introduction. This is about you right now, too. You know what I'm saying? I want to highlight you and what you do.
Okay. Yeah, man. I grew up in South Georgia, small town, and always liked hip hop since I was little, man. Always been drawn to it, and loved the writing and rhyming aspect of it, man, and just fell in love with it. And you know, it was probably a rebellious thing as a kid too, because I feel like that's how a lot of people do kind of get into hip hop. Though when you're younger,
Yeah.
it speaks to that rebel in you. That when you're young, you're like, I don't have to listen to this. You know what I mean? It like gives you that fire, that push back against authority and your parents or whatever it may be. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I've just always loved it. Always liked writing. Wrote a bunch of poetry when I was younger, things like that, and just it was kind of an outlet for me. It was a way to. It gave me a voice. Like everybody says that. It's kind of you've heard. People's heard it through the years, but it's true. It does. It gives you a voice. You're able to
Mm-hmm.
kind of put your artwork out there, man. You can do whatever. You can write anything in a rap song. You can be an astronaut or whatever you want to write about. You can bring it to life on paper and on a record. So um, I was always drawn to it, man. I went from I left school and went to Georgia Southern College for about 2 years. Me and this other kid met, started making music together, started working the open mics, getting on the radios, freestyling, doing battles and shit. And from there, we actually got in good with this dude that ran the karaoke in Statesboro. And I think it was every Thursday, it got to where we would show up and we would have a song to do that wasn't part of we'd bring our own shit in there. Like I remember one time we brought the Pharaoh Monch and Mos Def, oh no, that track in it, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like we tried to do all the current stuff that was going at the time, and it got to where we was doing like people was showing up to see us on Thursdays, what we was doing, and anyway, man, I kind of get long winded when I talk about all this stuff. But we got ended up getting a record deal with an independent label, moving to Atlanta. We went through like 3 different labels up
Mm-hmm.
there. We lived I lived in Marietta and Austell for a little while, recorded in Atlanta, cut some demos, and ended up that group fell apart. And I've just been chasing it a while, dog. I could continue to tell you the whole background, but I've been through multiple different labels. I mean, sometimes it takes the long way. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And it's a journey, man. It sounds like throughout every artist's like path, it's a journey to like get to where they want to be, whether it's independent or going through the major labels. And like the grind always seems like it's, a 10-year plus grind before you start seeing the outcome of what you put in. You get what I mean? Does that feel that way based off what you're saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's been about double that for me, man. I've been chasing it for a while. I've also had, I really just did music for about 8 to 10 years of my life, and had labels that was paying for me a place to stay, or I was
Uh-huh.
living in a studio and just. Am I freezing up, Beto, or you
No,
got me?
you're Gucci. I got you. I hear you loud and clear. Everybody's
Okay,
listening.
all
We
right,
good. Yeah, we good.
all right. I can never tell. Sometimes over here the freeze, and I don't know. But yeah, man. So always continued to make music even when I had you know grown up issues, kids, bills to pay, things like that.
Right.
Life happens too. So, but I've never stopped pursuing it, man. It's always been something that I've always felt like I'm gonna wind up doing in one form or another.
Right. That's dope. That's dope. So I mean, you kind of covered a lot of ground in my first like few questions that I had here. So it's kind of good that like
Mhm.
you had me segue into a few other ones. So the next question I have for you really is like who was the first rapper that made you say what, I'm gonna pick up the mic and I'm gonna rap? Like what was like that first instinct? Like for me, like I didn't rap, but what got me into rap was like Onyx. You know what I'm saying? Like I got into Onyx rap through
Oh
Onyx.
man,
Hmm.
bro, I used to love that Slam
Yes,
video was
Slam. That's what it is.
crazy when
Yes,
I
it
was
is.
little, bro.
Facts, man. That was my shit.
Slam,
Slam.
bro.
Duh, duh, duh. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Let the
Slam.
boys be boys.
Onyx and DOS Effects was
Oh,
crazy to me
facts.
too when I was
Okay.
little. But one of the first rappers I ever saw, yeah, the first rappers I ever saw were the Beastie Boys when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and
Okay.
I saw the "Fight for Your Right to Party" video and loved it. And then a few years later, I got introduced to Snoop Dogg. Um, I think it was Doggy Style where he had it was a cassette where he had the cartoon dogs on it. Was
Okay.
that
Yep.
Doggy
Yep. That's
Style or
doggy
what?
style. Yes, sir. That's
I
doggy
can't
style.
remember.
That's the intro. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I was little and saw. Yeah, I was little and saw that, and it folded out the booklet, and I was like, "This is crazy. This is cartoons." Like I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, and I was like, "This is wild." And I love Snoop's voice, man. His voice was
Smack
just,
smooth, man. Hell
bro.
yeah.
Snoop just it just captivated you, dog. It's like, what is
Mm-hmm.
it? It's like he felt like he was casting a spell on you when he was rapping, bro, because he
Facts.
just had you locked in. It was just so fucking so smooth, bro. So I would, man, I describe like the early rap and like the '90s and all that stuff. It felt like you were watching like superheroes almost because they had their own signature way of doing shit.
Yes,
And so
sir.
like
Yes, sir.
in
Everything
the
was original.
'90s, yeah, exactly, like when you went and checked it, bought an album, or you flipped it over to see who the features were, you'd be like, "Oh my God, he's got a song with this guy." Oh,
Yup.
it's like they was joining forces or something. They, of
Word.
course, now to look at it, they're like cross promoting, they're sharing fan bases. It might be like I know E40. He reached out from the West Coast and did some shit with some East Coast guys back then,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't. It's crazy now that I've gotten older. I went back and looked, and I knew a lot of the rappers, but there's some of them that I didn't even realize I was listening to back then. You know
Yo,
what I mean?
facts. Hell yeah. I
E40
always
was
go
one
through
of them.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I find them, I'd be like, damn, that was him. Okay, I always liked that verse.
Yep.
I didn't
Yep.
realize that was who that was.
Hell yeah.
You
That's
know what I
always
mean?
fire about going back. Absolutely.
hmm So yeah, I kind of got off the subject, man. I would say, yeah, the first ones I saw was Beasties and then Snoop Dogg. But I'd say the ones that really made me want to do it. I know Bone Thugs was real big for me, and Outkast in the late '90s, early 2000s was
Mm-hmm.
really massive for me, man. I don't know, they just it's like they wasn't scared to push the envelope, and I know it was groups before them because I went back and did my homework on the Diggable Planets and the
Oh yeah, cool like that was my song from Diggable Planets. That's my
yeah.
jam right there.
And the dudes Far Side, I see where Outkast got all their influence. I see where all that came from, and but for me it was them. They were big. They've been big uh on me or for me this whole way because like I don't know, man. I'm from Georgia, so I kind of
Mm-hmm.
linked on to that. And when they did the Rosa Parks thing and put the harmonic in the breakdown, I just thought that beat was so
Yeah, that beat
crazy.
was
And
fire and so
they
different,
was just
unique.
like, yeah, man, and they was like giving it a sound, bro. And I mean, I got to give Bubba Sparks his credit, man. Bubba lit it up for a
Hell
long
yeah. For a
time,
good
man.
like 5 years.
Bubba did something that I was dreaming about doing, man. Bubba got on there with Timberland.
Yes, sir.
Bubba was bubbling. at the same time with Eminem. I mean, there was a time when
Mm-hmm.
both their names were said in the
In the
same
same
in the same
sentence.
sentence. You know what I mean?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And Bubba was a big influence of mine too, man. I always give Bubba his props, man. Anybody that got anything slick to say about Bubba now, they just a hater of hip hop because this
Yeah.
man came through and he put a stamp on it for a minute, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. With that ugly song, Miss Booty, like that album and what he
Mm,
that run that he had was definitely fire, dog. And I love that you bring up a lot of these groups that I actually was gonna compare and ask you, like, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get to that a little later. I have this little segment called A and W, it's answering why. So later down the line, we're gonna ask you about these
okay.
artists that you recommended and stuff. But I love that you have the like historic knowledge as an artist, and I feel like a lot of rappers these days, independent or major, just disregard the history of rap. And I see that in your music, you know what I'm saying? I see that in the lyrics that you put in, you know what I'm saying? You make a lot of references and stuff like that. So me as a person who's a fan of your music, I appreciate hearing that in your lyrics when you go back and you go through the nostalgic part of rap, especially the golden era of rap. That's always fire.
Thank you, man. I'd be foolish not to mention Field Mob as well with that. I know I brought them up, and now, you saying that reminded me because I was thinking about some of the verses where I say things about the
Mm-hmm.
rappers. Field
Yep.
Mob was
I
in
remember
there.
that verse
I
too.
feel like this, Beto. I feel like this, dog. It's. I'm gonna always be cocky. Rappers are. We're gonna be cocky and say that we're the best or greatest or
As
whatever.
you
And you can
should be.
always do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can always. Everybody can always do that. Everybody's entitled to think they're the best. But if you're so blind that you think, even if you're currently a hot country rapper or whatever you are currently hot doing rap wise, if you think that you are better than some of these guys that came before you that was totally smashing it and inventing this
Mm-hmm.
shit and paving the way for all these crazy styles and shit you hear right now, then you're lost, man. If you can't see that, if you didn't see that or you weren't around to see that, go back and listen to some of this shit. It's still fire as fuck.
Facts. Facts. And that's needed in hip hop.
Yeah.
That is needed in hip hop for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh
Now,
yeah.
now you said earlier too. I think you had mentioned that you had got your first cassette tape too. Now, was it with the parental advisory sticker, or what was that first cassette tape that you had bought? That was the explicit content
Actually,
sticker.
the Snoop Dogg cassette tape that I listened to back then was actually my grandmother used to have an apartment built on to her house, a little small like storage thing. All right, I'm getting into some shit, but this is how I ended up finding this girl who was a family friend or whatever, older. She was like senior in high school. I'm like 8 or 9 years old at this time.
Uh-huh.
She stayed there. Whenever my grandmother would need her, she would like watch us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now looking back, I know she was over there chiefing and shit. I knew her apartment smelled. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I always knew. I was like, this apartment smelled like some kind of weird
Got a
air
different
freshener or
fragrance.
something. So so she had the cassette and she had let me listen to it over there. So it wasn't like mine at that age. But
Okay, okay.
I remember listening to it now looking back, my grandmother's dead, God rest her soul. She's probably like, I'm gonna kill her when I see her now that she heard
Hold on, my
that.
bad.
But yeah.
My bad. I got these little cats acting up. My fault, dog. They was about to knock something down.
You good? Hey man, talking about cats, my cat drug in a full size dead bird today, bro.
I seen that on your story too. That was crazy. I was like, oh,
That's
they're
what I
vicious.
was gonna ask you that.
I
Yeah,
was gonna bring that
bird.
up too.
Hey, bro, this cat came in the other night. All right, so I hear my daughter in the living room yelling, right? And I was like, she gets loud and stuff playing around, but I was like, that don't sound like a normal yell. So I went out there and looked. She's standing in the corner of the couch looking up at the ceiling. So I was like, what are you doing? She said, get it or something like that. And I look over, bro, it's a flying squirrel, one of those little squirrels that like
Yeah, with
jump
the
and
wings and
got the
shit, yo.
skin that can. Yeah, bro, it's a flying squirrel. So it's in my house on the top of my curtain rod up there.
Uh
On the
huh.
curtains, we got some long curtains in the living room.
Right.
So I was like, damn, what am I gonna do about this shit? How am I gonna catch it?
Grab the
So
cat.
the first thing that crossed my mind was go get this. I got a net outside, big a pool net. So I was like, I'm gonna go get this and catch him. So I'm looking, and the cat's at the bottom of the curtains watching it. So I'm like, all right, so I was like, let me get Reese out of here. So I got her out. So I was like, all right, let me go get this pool net. I ain't even got Reese off the couch. This cat jumped up,
Oh
climbed the
yeah.
curtains, grabbed
Bow.
the squirrel. The squirrel jumped down. It was like some pay-per-view wrestling shit. Slams the
RKO'd the
squirrel
shit
on the
out of
ground.
it.
The squirrel, yo, the squirrel's running crazy under the couch. The cat's right behind it. It was like some Tom and Jerry shit. And then the squirrel runs under this. Anyway, I ended up opening the door and taking a broom and like hockeying the squirrel out the door on the way by, and the cat goes straight out in the yard after it. So I don't know. R.I.P. squirrel if you didn't know.
Praise to it. You know, that's hilarious, man. Cats are incredible creatures like that, man. And live where you live at too in the wildlife, dog. I bet you see some crazy shit. I bet you see some crazy shit out there as far as
Yeah.
the wildlife. I mean, a flying squirrel.
Well, here's the
You know what I'm
thing, dog.
saying?
Well, yeah, here's the thing, bro. And also I looked it up because I was like, I know that was a flying squirrel. I know what I saw, so I googled it because I hadn't seen them in so long, and I've seen regular squirrels, but I was like,
Right.
are there flying squirrels in Georgia? And they said, yeah, they're all over Georgia and Florida, but you don't never see them. How the hell this cat caught it? I don't know, but yeah, dog, our cat will bring in like rats too, bro.
Oh
Like
man.
big ass rat. And
Woo.
you never see them, you know what I mean, unless they're in your house doing
Right.
something or chewing something up. But she goes out. I mean, it don't really bother me. Of course, you come in and see a decapitated rat on your kitchen floor, you're like, great, I
Got to
gotta
clean them
step
up,
in
clean up
here
the
with all
mess.
this germs and shit. Yeah, yeah. But I look at it like that animal's earning this keep, man.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cats are one of the best things, dog. Listen, I got three of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. But shit, man. My next question is, man. So I see that you had your first album in 2011, right? But when did you like officially say that you started like rapping? Like, what year did you start rapping? Like, do you remember like your
Like
first written song?
like 10 years. My first rap I ever wrote was in like in the 90s. I wrote a rap for the DARE program,
Oh wow.
the drug free program,
Yep,
and
I
we
remember Dare.
performed it.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I had me and three of my homeboys in it, and I wrote everybody's verse, and I wrote the hook, and we all performed it. You had to do little stupid shit like that. It was like in fifth grade, and that was one of the first raps I ever wrote. But the first rap I ever recorded, I think, was in 2000 or 2001,
Okay.
and yeah. So it's funny now when I look at that. Like my album I loaded was in 2011, but I remember recording the first demo song I ever did. They recorded on a reel to reel and then burn it down in the system and or got it copied. They didn't have even have CD burns back then, I don't think, and they copied it
Uh
to
huh.
a Maxell cassette tape,
Yep.
and that was my first demo. That was in I think 2000, and I remember they had a guy in there with a drum pad. It had back then you used to buy those singles, the CD singles. So they did have CDs then, but he gave it to me on a cassette tape. I don't remember why, but they used to have the CD singles, and they would have the beat, the instrumental off of that. And I think I did two tracks to instrumentals, and I had one instrumental that the DJ had put like a watermark in it, or they had messed the beat up somehow, so
Uh
you
huh.
couldn't duplicate it. And I brought it in there. I brought it in there, and the guy was like, "I'm just going. I want to rap over this too." And dude was like, "Over that noise you making, over the thing, over the watermark or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah." I just wanted to rap, and he was like, "No, man, that's gonna mess your whole song up." And I was like, "All right, well, what do you suggest?" And this dude was like, "I'll make you a beat, man." And I was like, "Well, how much is that gonna cost me?" Because at that time, I barely, $100 was a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And he was like, "I'll do it for you for $50." So I got like everything pressed up and done, or whatever you want to call it. I got to record, and he made a beat, and I got everything for like $250, and I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was a great deal back then because studio time was crazy, and the dude tapped out a beat, and me and my boy was in there, and we both thought that beat was hard as hell, dog. It was a really good track for back then.
Right,
Now,
right.
now if you listen to it, it's like boom bap with a little bit of chimes and a cymbal in it.
Uh
It wasn't shit. It wasn't shit to make, but I couldn't make it. And back then, I was like, this shit. Oh God.
huh. Now the question is, do you
Yeah.
still have that out? Do you still have the tape now? Do you still
Man,
have
I
it
got
now?
it. I've got it somewhere. I've got it transferred to a. I transferred it to a CD through the years, and
Okay, okay.
man, I got it somewhere,
I
dog.
might I
I
might
don't
have to
know.
hear
I've
that,
had
dog.
people. Oh man, it's like not good. It's terrible. But people still hit me up and tell me that they've got some of that. Like man, when I took that back around my hometown, I grew up in a small hometown, man, and you know even though this was in the 90s going into the 2000 era, there was a lot of people still didn't listen to hip hop. It didn't explode as, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
everybody was still stuck in rock and roll and shit like that. And when I took a rap song down there and played it, and people's like, how the hell did you know you could do that? Like, how'd you know you could do that? And I was like, I've always known I could rhyme on beat. I've just never really wrote anything and done it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I don't
right.
know. It was weird because I did always feel like I knew I could do it. I didn't always feel like, I was going to be, uh, you know, I didn't never really come into it thinking like I'm going to be the greatest rapper in the world. I don't know if anybody starts rapping and thinks they're going to be the greatest. There could be some rare talents out there that they just take to it naturally, you know what I mean? But for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, I feel like you got to put in work, bro. You got to grind and
Yes,
you
sir.
got to find your own voice. There's a number of things you have to do to get good at rapping and
Mm.
working in the studio and all that shit.
It's not just hopping in and just being like, all right, I'm gonna hop on this beat, say some words, and then boom, we just
Yeah.
gonna push it out. And I feel like there was an
Right.
era of that for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Say that again.
Nah, I
Say
feel
that
like,
again. What now?
nah, I feel like there was a little bit of an era where I feel like people
What'd
would
you
just
say, Beto?
I was feeling like when people hop on like tracks, like there was an era where people would just hop on tracks and just say anything, you know what I'm saying, and not put in like the effort or the work to like, put in their rhymes. Did you catch that? Hold up. You hear me now?
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, man. I've in the beginning. Yeah. Am I freezing or can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I think it did freeze for a second.
Beto, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
You kind of broke up. You kind of broke up for a minute, but I could hear you.
Okay.
But man, I started to hate on all the new like whenever rappers started hitting the beat kind of not in a pocket and doing almost talk rap stuff in the beginning. I was like, man, I don't like that, man. Everybody needs to be in the pocket. Everybody needs to ride the beat.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've kind of come around to listening to it, and I'm like, I kind of like this. I see how
It
they
grows
kind of
onto you.
switched it up and said, yeah, they kind of just, they kind of just said, I'm so dope, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to be in no pocket or nothing.
Yeah. Now, I had another question going into your first songs here, if you can hear me. Every rapper, I feel like
Yeah.
when they come out with their name and we know them as we know them, like your name is Simple Man, right? Did you have a name before Simple Man? Did you have a beginning MC name, and what was it?
I had this idea that and I don't know, man. You got to think about the '90s rappers like Busta Rhymes and Redman, and even Eminem was buzzing back then and coming out. Everybody had wild names, bro. Like a lot of them did. And I thought I was gonna go by Simple Simon for a little while, with the
Uh-huh.
second with Simon spelled Cyman, and I think I called myself that for about 9 months or so. And after my buddies started calling me that, and I started hearing it back, I was like, nah. Hey, this ain't the move, man. This is not gonna
It don't
happen
ring.
right now. No,
Oh, that's hilarious.
no, man, no, hell no. So,
Oh
but then
boy.
actually, I dropped the Simon part off
Uh huh.
altogether, and I just went by simple for like 10 or 12 years, and then I felt
Just
like
simple, straight up.
I wanted to. Yeah, just simple. I just went by
Okay.
simple
Okay.
straight up, which is basic anymore. A lot of people just call me that anyway.
Right. I was about to
But
say it just flips anyway. Yeah.
after I felt like putting a simple man on there to kind of reflect like the common I feel like I represent the common people that are trying to chase dreams and juggle everyday
Mm.
life, and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like you, for instance, you have a dream that you want to do with this YouTube thing right now, man. So you're the average person, just like I am. We all trying to work for something when we can. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? That's kind of what my rap name means now.
And that's dope that you say that because I feel like that's exactly what your music represents. And I was gonna like kind of ask you about that later on, but you kind of already answered the question. So that's fire. That like that's like your target um, purpose in like the music that you're putting out and like your stance and like your motto. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fire. I find that dope to believe. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, man,
Thank you.
for real,
Thank you, dog.
absolutely, absolutely. And that goes into like with you saying that, and that's a good segue. Is like being an independent artist, man. Like it seems like there's obstacles and like adversity that people face while going through this. Like, what was like the toughest obstacle, or what was the things that you have faced while like grinding in this and getting to where you wanted to get at? And do you feel like do you feel like there's still more that you want to accomplish in this game, and like where do you want to see yourself? You know what I'm saying, in the industry or, as an independent artist in the next 5 years.
Man, to watch, and I won't. I'm not comparing myself to this guy, so nobody can. Don't take this and say, oh, he thinks he's this guy, because I'm not. I'm me. I'm what I can do. But watching what Jelly Roll is doing right now is
Mm-hmm.
incredible. Do I think I could go sing like he could? Nah. Do I think I could write like he could? Possibly so, depending on how different. You know, I'm not gonna say what. Let me pick my words carefully here, because people like to say things about shit that comes out of your mouth.
And you know how the
What I
internet
mean
is.
is like watching how. Yeah, 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 man, and people like to fucking talk shit, but watching how this man went after a dream for so long, finally got the recognition that we all knew, all of us who have, and I say we all, meaning me, the common Jelly Roll fan that has known how incredible this guy's been with a pen for
Mm-hmm.
years and years. Everybody knew that. If anybody didn't know that, they was hating or just full of shit or a terrible judge of music, because the guy's always been able to write. And I hope that I can have a similar story. I don't have to do it to the scale he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, if I'm able to and the Lord blesses me with that, then that would be incredible. But I would love to be able to work with the versatile range of artists that he does. He does a song with Machine Gun Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
then does a song with Brandon Lake that's like a gospel song, does songs with Lainey Wilson, who's a country singer. And I think I could do something similar to that. I may not be singing on everything like he does,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some harmony type of stuff I can do with my raps and couple hooks and things like that. I do some harmony stuff in, and I really think if I got in the studio with some of these professional engineers and things, these guys that have been doing it for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never done anything with any vocal coaching or anything. If I could get in there with some of these people and they could tell me, hey, this is where we want you to go on this particular record, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And kind
Mm-hmm.
of help me dial this shit in, then I do really feel like the sky's the limit, man. I don't think I'm being cocky with that. I think that I've been writing and recording for a very long time, and I do really feel like, thank God, I do feel like the Lord has blessed me. There's a reason why me and Target and Breadwin and Dirty and Jeff and Corey and these people at TrailerMade, Dolph and Crowny. There's a
Big shout out Trailer
reason
Made.
we all we all ended up finding each other. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like that was mistake. I don't feel like anything that goes on is mistake. I personally think that I have in my life manifested some things that came to pass for me just by staying focused and working hard on goals, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Mm-hmm.
do, and I think there's a lot of power in that. And people say that, but I don't think a lot of people really believe that. But it's true. You can manifest things. You work hard on them,
Yes, sir.
and you keep pushing. And anyway, like what I'm getting at, man, I get off on these tangents, bro. I really feel like, what did you ask initially? I want to answer it the way you asked it. What'd you ask?
Let me go.
Where do
Let
I
me go
see
back because
myself going?
yeah. Where do you see like because you answered most of it. So where do you see like your career in 5 years, or where do you want to be with your career in 5 years, and like how do you want to shape it musically?
I'll answer it. Sum it up like this: I have huge dreams, man, that don't
Mm-hmm.
just involve music. I have huge dreams involving like being able to be an actor and some stuff and things like that.
Okay.
And I don't think that any of that's unattainable. I think that you can get anything you really work hard to and put your mind to in this lifetime. Is it going
Absolutely.
to happen for me? I don't know. Is it going to happen for me? I don't know. Is it going to happen for any of us? I don't know. We don't know if we're given tomorrow, so there's nothing we know here. But I
Mm-hmm.
know that I'm going to keep working hard for it, and I'm going to always put my best foot forward in everything I do. And I appreciate every person that's coming out now and showing us support. You, the reactors, all the fans and things that are in here. There's a lot of people, and I don't want to start saying names because I don't want to leave anybody out. But you guys know who you are, and we greatly appreciate every one of you for helping us move forward.
That's dope. That's dope, man. And I think the way you guys are moving, and that goes for you and the rest of Trailer Made, which I call you guys Trailer Woo, because you guys just keep expanding and having dope MCs and dope artists on the label, man. So big respect to that. And once again, it just goes to show your grind. It goes to show your dedication and like the respect to the craft and everything. And great things are gonna come from that. You know what I'm saying? Great things are gonna definitely come from that. You know what I mean? You got a good fan base going on. You guys are impacting social media, man. You guys are going in and connecting with reactors, man. And you guys are dudes, most importantly, you guys are dudes that people can resonate with. And I think in music, fans want to connect with the artists and resonate with what they're saying and what they're talking about. So everything that you had just spoke about, people literally live that every single day. So that's dope. And tying into your name, once again, simple man, it's like the average man, the common folk, saying people like myself and people out there that's just doing what I'm doing and what you're doing independently and just building it from the ground up. Like I think you guys represent that through everything you guys do. So I think that shit's fire as hell.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely, absolutely. So it's funny because I had these questions, man, and like the way you answer them, that's why I don't even mind that you get into like the long, what you call running, ranting on, because I'm like, you covering a lot of bases, man. Because once again, like that's what the couch is for, dog. You know, what I'm saying we here to just politic and chop it up. So,
Bro, I just got off the phone with Bredwin earlier, and man, I would just talk, bro. I started telling him about me working on the the washing machine today. Like I'm calling him, I'm talking to him about that, and I got done. I was like, bro, I know you were worried about my washing machine, and I was like, man, you know me, dog. I'm gonna talk, and he was like, I said, I don't know what that is. I said, I don't know why I do that, man. I think it's because I live out here by myself, and so when I get y'all on the phone, I want to tell you about everything I got going on. And Brevin was like, Brevin was like, nah. He's like, I think it's just you Georgia motherfuckers. He's like, because a lot of y'all's the same way. Once y'all start talking
y'all
about
just be
some
going.
shit, y'all want to talk all day. Yeah, yeah. Bro, my dad and my grandfather were kind of like that too, man. So I get it honest, man.
Word.
They like to talk, man. They're people's people. You know what I mean? They like to
Right,
cut
right.
up and joke and all that shit. So
Mm-hmm. and
Yeah.
and it reflects off you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I can see it. I mean, me and you done chopped it up, for a while now at this point too, man. And I'm glad once again that we're able to do this live and like really chop it up and shit too, man. And it just started from, I believe, going back. This is off brand a little bit, but this goes back to, I feel like I heard the song with you and the Sticks. I want to say it's Hell to Pay. I want to say it was that. I want to say it was that
Yeah,
song,
probably. Yeah.
and
Yep.
like just listening to
Yep.
that song, just going into like your cadence and your flow, I was immediately being like, yo, there's something about this dude where like he has the voice. You know what I'm saying? Like for me that listens to music, I'm like, people that impact you, they have a voice. You know what I'm saying? And you have that. You know what I'm saying? As a rapper and as an artist, you have that
Thank
voice
you.
that can like really get people to listen. You get what I'm saying? And then you rap well. You know what I'm saying? Your bars ain't simple. You know what I'm saying? You may be simple man, but your bars is not simple, brother. So like,
Thank you,
I really
dog.
do fucks with that, man, for real, for real.
Thank you,
And
bro.
yeah, man, no doubt, no doubt. And like, my next question too is, man, like, when you get in the booth, because for me as a person who listens, I always want to know like what the process is as a rapper that goes into the studio and like before they start creating the music shit. Like, what's your creative process like while putting an album together or putting a song? Like, what do you want the audience to get out of your music? I think you touched on it a little bit while we've been talking, but like overall, like when you get in there, do you have like a set, I don't know, storyline or a set thing that you want to do when you're getting into the booth and putting stuff together?
My process has changed through the years. I used to actually get out the pen and pad, which I do kind of miss doing, man. There was
Mm-hmm.
something about that where you sat down with the beat and you actually wrote out everything. I still got to, I won't throw those notebooks away. I got like 15, 20 notebooks full of rhymes,
Word.
and I won't throw them away, man. I love them. I like to look back. I got anyway. How's my process now? I'm doing that Georgia talking shit. I sit down with the tracks, with going through beats and stuff, finding a beat, and actually finding one that speaks to me, and then figuring out, all right, what am I gonna do with this? Is this gonna be a storytelling track? What is this gonna
Okay.
be? Is this just gonna be automatically all the time? I want to default to rapper shit talk track. You know what I mean? Because that's the rap I love. I love the braggadocious.
Mm-hmm.
That's still gonna always be great rap to me, bro. It's still some of my favorite songs are just when rappers are just killing a beat and just talking their shit.
I'm
I
with you
love
there.
that. You
Word.
know, yeah, it don't have to be a concept track. Just stick a dope hook on there,
Mm-hmm.
and just talk your shit, man. I like that more than anything. But so that's where I want to go almost every time I start to write.
Right.
But matter of fact, here I can cross promote. I'll take a track like Little Green Army Men, which I might be releasing that
Fire.
video tomorrow.
Okay, that's dope.
So
I'll be on that, man. That's a dope song.
yeah,
I love that song. That's off Underdog too, right?
yes, sir, it is.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that, bro. That's
Yes, sir.
that's probably that's one of my favorite songs I think I've made in the past 10 years. I just
Mm-hmm.
love that track because it's all of us, bro. That encapsulates, like you
Yes,
just said,
sir.
like my rap name. That encapsulate the simple man, bro. That's us. We getting up. We the little green army men going to work, clocking
Mm-hmm.
in. That's us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so that track, uh, listening to that beat, I don't know. I just got that little green army man. I don't even know how that those words came into my mind. You know what I mean? Like I
Right,
wasn't.
right.
I didn't feel like I was thinking about little green army. Maybe my daughter watched Toy Story the night before or some shit. I don't know.
And Andy's coming.
But yeah, yeah, Andy's coming. So I just started thinking about Little Green Army Men and how we all got to clock in and go to work, man. And it's like I don't know. I just made it into a metaphor about when you're little and you're playing with those toys in the yard, you're not thinking about your dad's been going to work all day. You just been at kindergarten or third
Mm-hmm.
grade, and you get
Mm-hmm.
home and you just play with toys in the yard. You don't think about how much sacrifice they do for you to be able to do that.
Right.
And then
And then you fell into those
you
shoes and you
grow
realize
up.
how
You
real it is.
you kind of yeah, exactly. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of, it's like a
Mm-hmm.
cycle, man. It's like a cycle. Like I'm
Word.
I'm doing it right now. So
And I'm so glad you said that because even when
so
I
yeah.
heard that song, that's exactly what I felt from that song. But go ahead, go ahead.
No, that's it. I don't really I just kind of get a concept, man, sometimes and just go with it. working with Target too, man. A lot of the stuff that when he'll come up with some crazy things too, bro. He comes up with some awesome shit. He'll write some
Hmm.
hooks that's
Oh, you
like
guys' hook game is
kind of
amazing,
open.
dude.
Oh man, he's incredible with it. But he'll write some. This is what I like. This is one of the things I like that he does. Uh, like when the sun goes down in Georgia, take that track. Okay, that
Hmm.
hook is fire. That hook is
Absolutely.
fire.
One of my favorites.
That song, it does. That song, it does feel like it is you kind of walking away from a bad version of yourself. But honestly, him and me did not discuss a concept for that song at all. We
Oh,
didn't
wow.
talk about, this is what the hook means. This is what your verse means. I'm gonna do my verse like this. We didn't do that. We kind of
Hmm.
wrote it open for interpretation, which is
Mm.
I like music that does that a lot of times because I might get something different than you get from that record. I might put myself in it, I might relate it to my story different. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
So he does I ain't gonna say he does a lot that way, but he writes some hooks sometimes and I'm like, bro, that's fire. I'm like, sometimes I ask him like, what does that mean? And he's like, it can mean this or it can mean however you wanna, you know what I mean?
Leaves you with the riddle, you know what I'm saying? Leaves it open for
Yeah.
interpretation, man. And that's fire that you bring up you guys' hooks because that's something that when I listen to you guys' music, that's something that always just stands out to me because once again, like I think the hooks always bridge the gaps between you guys' raps. And I think that just goes for any artist. So the fact that you guys know how to put hooks together is absolutely amazing. Like for example, like the album that you guys just dropped, which I just found out was a compilation. I thought that was like another album. I was like, look at this guy going off. But
Oh
I see that
my,
was a
you talking about?
compilation.
Yeah, yeah,
The 10
10 piece.
piece, yes, yes, yes. I just learned that that was a compilation. But going into that though, that song Pride, the hook on that Pride got you acting like a dummy. Who wrote the hook to that? And if that was you, fire. But either way, like that goes to show like how dope y'all hooks are, dog. Like I like that hook a lot, Sam.
Hang on, give me 1 second right here.
Yeah.
Damo, I hope you watching this motherfucking replay, you motherfucker, and I hope you just heard that statement.
Yeah, dope.
Hey, shouts out to dog. Shouts out to Damo, man. That's my dog. But I think I wrote that because that was on the Higgs Field album. Man, I liked that hook and I liked that beat. But now when you
Fire.
hear it now, it does. It feels like it kind of is dated a little bit,
Mm,
but
mm.
that older type of shit is coming back popular too. So
Nostalgic is
it's
always in.
open lane right now. Exactly, dog. It's an open lane right now. So I feel like you could drop some straight boom bap stuff right now. I mean, rappers they're taking boom bap sound and stuff and redoing it like that guy La Russell that's out there, bro, that's crushing it. He's
Mm.
fire. He's uh he's taking some boom bap shit. I think he took like a Cool Mo D record and redid it, and he's killing it. And
Oh shit. Okay.
anyway, yeah. So the reason I did that the compilation album is because I had a lot of people messaging me saying, "What's some? What can I? Should I go back and listen to some of my favorites?" And I'm like, "Bet, man. I'll just put 9 tracks on here. I ain't even gotta. Yeah, we can cut out all the guessing. Here's the ones I like, and here's a brand new one. You know."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But those that album's got some of my favorite ones on there. I thought "Knock on Wood" was a really good record, man. The one where
I did like
I
that one
sang
too.
a little bit on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that one was dope. I wanted me and Target to shoot a video to that. There's Backyard, the one me and Target did, the Cocaine one that's got JB on it,
Yup. Yup.
and
Yup.
it was just a fun little project to put together, man. I wanted to make sure I put some of my favorite ones on there for everybody.
Nah, you definitely put together a good compilation, which what I thought was a full album once again, but but it's definitely was something. It was new to me. What was old to y'all was new to me, so I definitely appreciate the album.
See,
I've been riding around to it, you know what I'm saying, and it sounded good. Like for y'all to feel like it sounded dated, I was like, nah, this sounds good right now. But I like dated shit though, you know what I'm saying. So that could be a little bit, a
right.
little bias to that. But I just like overall music in general too. Um, Also going into my next, my next thing here too. Now coming from Maine, and I seen that you was up north, you know what I'm saying, and being down south, and I know music and regions always matter in music, and I know you want to impact this game, you know, on a heavy level. Now, do you feel like your music resonates up north as it does down south, and like how do you feel like you can combat that by putting out music that you know we would want to hear, quote unquote, up north, or like how do you feel for that? How do you get a feel for that, so to say? Because I know the north ain't
I
really
don't.
privy to the south music too
Yeah.
much.
No, that's a good question, bro. I don't really know. I don't know how I'd be interpreted. Like, I'm sure there's people that are Wu Tang fans out there right now that
Hmm.
if they heard that Wu Tang joint I put out, they'd be like, "Don't you ever fucking speak on Wu Tang's name. Don't you ever do that again, you corny ass country white boy." And I could completely get it. I'd be like, "Yeah, I know. I was just fucking around."
It's
But
like I like Wu Tang, dog. Like you
yeah.
know.
So I don't know, man. I don't really know how. I kind of feel like this, man. That question kind of reminds me of when people's asking me like, "Do you care if people call you a country rapper or not?" I don't give a shit as long as they're talking about me.
Hmm.
Then it's fine. And I'm quite sure there's gonna be plenty of people from up north, out west, hell, even right down here in the south, that are not gonna like what I do. And I'm completely okay with that. What's the JFK saying? You can't please everybody all the time, or you can only please half people half the time, or so I don't know what he says, something like that. But it's true, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how anyone would interpret what I do. I know I'm country as hell talking, bro. So I know a lot of times when people hear that instantly, there's a lot of stuff they start knocking
They start
IQ points
knocking.
down. You know what I mean?
But you know what's crazy? You be speaking
They
some
start,
real shit in there though, dog. That's what's crazy. Like you be speaking some real shit. Like just because the country slang and the country way you talk don't mean you talking.
Thank you.
You
I'm
know
gonna
what
start
I'm
doing the TI thing. I'm expeditiously, expeditiously. Yeah.
saying? That is hilarious, man.
Ti came out. Ti started his career. He was like, "Fuck that shit. They ain't gonna call me no dumb southern mother." He started quoting the dictionary from the beginning,
Oh
bro.
yeah, oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
expeditiously.
It is hilarious. I love Ti, man. I love
Yeah.
Ti, man. Let me ask you a question too, going into Ti, man, because this goes into my A&W. Like we gonna kind of flip back and forth and have a little fun here as well too, man. So let the audience know here. You know, A&W. This is answering why. So I basically asked you about two different things. You know, artists, subjects. You know, whatever it is. And this case is gonna be Ti or Ludacris, and why.
Man, that's tough,
I,
bro.
I love fucking people up with
I'm gonna,
this.
man, that's tough. Hey, listen. All right, I'm gonna do my Georgia long-winded thing right now. I'm gonna tell you this. When I was in Statesboro recording or doing these shows and stuff, we I opened up for Ti and Field Mob
Hmm.
at this club. I knew who Field Mob was. I didn't know who Ti was at the time. He had
Ah.
just dropped the "I'm Serious" record. We're in Statesboro. The shit was. I didn't hear. I mean, it was still kind of, I guess, an underground record at the time. I think he was with an independent label then. I don't remember, but I didn't know who he was.
Uh huh.
And then we got done. I was excited to see Field Mob, and then Ti got up there, bro, and Field Mob was on stage with him, and they was hitting all his ad libs. They knew all his shit. So I was like, damn, this dude must be going crazy for them to be showing him this kind of love. I was
Right,
like,
right. King of the
you know what I
South.
mean? Like, who is this dude? So then, so then, fast forward about, I don't know, 4 months later, we had moved up there to stay with this CO of this label and start working on our first solo out, our first project. And I'm Serious was everywhere, all over the streets. It was playing everywhere. Everybody was playing that record. And I was like, fuck, man, I was that close to shaking hands with that dude. He might not have
Right.
gave a shit, probably didn't, probably wouldn't, but it would have been cool to say, okay, I shook hands and actually got to meet Ti.
Hmm.
But far as picking like between their music, man, damn, bro, you gonna get me fucked up. I live in this state, dog. I live in this state, dog.
It's a setup. The fight is fixed.
Yeah. Man, that's really tough, bro. I love both of their music. I think
Hmm.
Ti has some classic records. If I had to give one of them an edge, damn,
And it's funny because
man,
they
that's
both
I'm
act
having too
too.
much trouble.
They're both very good in their
That's
respective
what I'm
fields.
thinking, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I definitely liked. Man, I had both of all their albums and shit, man.
Hmm.
I
Me
like
personally, I was a
Luda. I
ludicrous
like
guy.
Luda a
Yeah, I was
lot.
about to say I was a ludicrous guy, and I feel
I
like
like Luda. Man, I liked him. See, he was so different. Dog. He was Luda was like it. Like if Georgia had a Buster Rhymes of hip hop,
that's a great
it would be
comparison.
Ludacris.
Okay,
It would
okay,
be Luda
okay,
because
okay.
not
That's
only with
ill.
the crazy stuff he did, but the videos he did the
Yup,
Popeye
yup,
arms. He
yup,
did the
yup,
They was the
yup.
babies in
And he
one
had the
video. Like
mannerisms. He
he
was like,
was,
"Get back, get back! You don't know me
bro,
like that." You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
bro.
that's where
And
you get
what's
that
the
from
one? He was
too.
upside. Yeah, he was upside down in that one. I know he was paying tribute to the Far Side now, but I didn't realize at
Oh
the
shit,
time he
what
was
was
doing
that?
that. But
Oh man, fuck.
can't keep running away. I think that was that song
Uh huh.
where they did it where they had it upside down. Luda did the same thing.
Okay.
Man, I would give Luda the edge only because uh I like stuff like that. I like outside of the box going, you know what I mean? Not being scared to do some wild shit. Plus,
Right, right.
man, the way he came up, being Chris Lover DJ,
Yeah, there
and
you
him
go,
leading
man.
us, like that's what I'm saying. Hey, like that's
Simple
right there
man.
to the point. Like that's manifesting. That's
Yes.
manifesting, bro. He
Yes,
believed
sir.
in himself. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
if I get behind them doors, I'm gonna be a multi-platinum artist.
Yeah.
And he did. He made it happen. But Ti has, I got love for both of them, man. I'll give Luda the edge in my personal preference, but it ain't by much, man.
Right, right.
Because
Cause
Ti is
Ti is the king
incredible
of the
too.
South. You know what I'm saying? We will say Ti is the king of the South, and that's after the Little Flip Ti battle that they had. Cause I know you're familiar with that. So that's why I kind of had to ask it because
Oh yeah,
we know Ludacris is
yeah,
Ludacris, but Ti is respectively the king of the South and is known as that. But Ludacris is like a cold second. But I think Ti was more battle tested, and then we already know about Stomp and everything. So
you know Ti, yeah, Stomp that record. That was wild. They got him to
yes,
do that.
sir.
Young Buck, I think, did
Young
that.
Buck was
But
doing the funny things.
that was yeah, yeah. But you know, when Lil Flip, when Tip dissed him and all that, I don't know. I didn't follow how much went on with that. That
Uh
was
huh.
I heard that could have got
It would
sideways,
have went
but it
left real
didn't.
quick.
But
Yeah, it could. I was all in that
yeah.
beef.
But I
Yeah.
never, but I never quit listening to Lil Flip. I
Oh
didn't.
yeah, me
Yeah,
neither. I
you know
bangs
what I
with
mean. A
Lil
lot of
Flip,
times,
dog.
and a lot of times, but a lot of times, if a rapper that I really like don't like another rapper, I will just not listen to him because
So
I'm
you
like,
you
man,
get
I'm
caught up
riding
in
with
that
this
too.
guy,
You get caught
man.
in that too. You get
Yeah,
15 in Ja Rules.
yeah,
You do that.
yeah. But I never. Yeah, but I thought Lil Flip was dope, bro. I
Hell
don't know what
yeah,
they
hell
had
yeah.
going on, but
It was a
yeah,
battle. It was a battle for the king of the South, man. You know what I'm saying? It was that battle for the king of the South because before that, I think they was kind of neck and neck for a little bit. But then like it was like the magazine thing that was going on. Then they had some feature stuff that was going on. Then it was you not from Cloverfield or whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff between that
yeah,
Houston and Atlanta stuff. I watch a lot of beef DVDs and I love hip hop beef. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah,
like I get real into that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying myself.
yeah. Nowadays, man, hey, hey, rappers out there, let me make a unanimous, not country rappers, real rappers out there. Hey, man, I love everything y'all do. Y'all have a wonderful, y'all have a wonderful career, bro. Don't send them boys in here, dog, because I don't know if I got enough guns for everybody. I'm gonna get a couple, but I don't know if Hey, bro, because these guys, hey, these kids don't play, dog.
Oh
It's for
nah.
real.
Hell yeah. It's
Yeah,
a young man's game
I'm
when it
right
comes to
here
that
by
part.
Dog, I'm not far from Jacksonville, Florida. Like this little stuff
Okay.
we did, this little country rap beef thing where everybody's talking this and that. That's rap beef.
Right. That's
There's
kitty
real
play.
rap
There's
beef.
real street stuff.
Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Y'all go ahead, man. Have a blessed life. You know
He's
what I
like, I'm
mean?
just rapping, dog. That's it. I'm just rapping.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's fire, man. That's fire.
Shit.
I'm about to mess your head up with
It's
another one,
crazy
man.
too, man.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Bro, it's crazy. it really is a very, like you just said, like I watch a lot of the rap beef stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it is wild how young these kids are going to
Shoo.
war and taking people out, dog. It's
Yeah.
insane, bro.
But you know what's crazy though,
It's
man,
crazy.
is that when we're a little older, but if you go back and look at everything, all the hip hop beef when all that stuff is like that, it's the same age. It's history just
Yeah.
repeating itself. You know
True.
what I'm saying? That's really what it is. We're just
True.
older and wiser now. We're just like, damn, that's still a cycle that's still in hip hop where like we don't keep things on wax because we understand how competitive it is, but it's also very street as well. You know what I'm saying? And when you kind of mix those ingredients together, it turns into what we continuously see time and time again in rap. And it's a sad thing to see, especially somebody who loves, great music from great artists. And we lost a lot of great artists that way, unfortunately.
I'm not. That's the saddest thing about it, bro. It's 14-year-old kids, bro, shooting each other off,
Mm-hmm.
getting off the school bus, opening
Mm-hmm.
fire, dog. This
Yeah,
shit is
man.
not a game, man.
No, no.
It's not a game. It's
Hell no.
crazy.
Hell no. But I got another one for you, dog. And I hate to break this one to you, man. Because the A&Ws get real difficult over here. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a warm up. That was just a
Go
warm
ahead.
up
Go
with
ahead.
it, man. You know what I'm saying? So
All right. All right. All right. Go
my
ahead.
next
All
one
right.
for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you mentioned these. Well, you mentioned one of them earlier, but I got another person to throw in the mix. Now this is gonna be Paul Wall or Bubba Sparks.
See, I have to go with Bubba, but I won't take anything away from Paul Wall. But
Okay.
for me, being from Georgia here and seeing Bubba, it was it was dope as fuck to watch. I said it earlier, but it was crazy to see him. I think the ugly video, he had a UGA,
Fire.
a Georgia helmet in it. And that was the first time I ever saw the Bulldogs anything in a rap video. Maybe there
Mmm.
was some that I missed here and there.
Right.
But I mean, Bubba was it. Bubba had the country act. Like Bubba talked like me. I'm country as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then,
I ain't
but
chose to
Pop, but
rhyme.
I
Rhyming
won't
chose
take,
me.
but but there's not to keep playing politics with it, but it's true, man. You can't take nothing away from Paul Wall and them
Mm-hmm.
Texas boys because
I'm
they
about to say
took that
Swisher House
shit.
and everybody.
They
Hell yeah.
took dog. They took hip hop for a little while, man. They took it.
Hell
They
yeah.
still, they
Chopped and
put they
screwed
put
was
the
a thing.
stamp on it, man. Paul Wall, Mike Jones.
Yes, sir.
I remember when people was hating on Mike Jones, and I used to even say a couple times, like he said the same thing 4 times. But guess what? That shit was riding though.
Bumping. Hell yeah.
That shit
Still
was
tipping on
yeah,
four
man. That
fours.
shit was
Do, 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 do,
yeah,
do, do, do.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dog.
Slim
Yeah,
Thugger. I
man.
think Zero was out there
Chameleonaire.
too.
Chameleonaire in them.
A
Yeah.
Millionaire was fired.
Yes, sir.
A Millionaire was dope, man. I watched yeah, all that shit. Michael Watts, I think, was the guy that,
Yup.
got the movement going. Him and DJ
Mm-hmm.
Screw and
Yup. Yup. You mentioned all the
man,
legends
it
right
was
now.
they were awesome, bro.
You know what's funny,
Yeah,
man,
man,
is
they were
that go ahead.
no, I was
Oh,
stopping. What's up?
no. I was gonna say, you know what's funny is that just goes back to like these regional things, man. Just me being up north and just like being so connected and knowing so much of y'all's music down there. I'm just like, why is it like the South get so much love? Like, you know what I'm saying? It goes back to like, 1995 Social Wars, like the South got something to say, and I'll always feel that way because the South don't really get a lot of respect. And I say that because it goes back to like I feel like people always look at like the flossing or like that the candy paint. They focus on like the materialistic things of the rap versus like what they're actually saying and like the styles and the uniqueness of the flows. Like excuse me, yeah, it's slowed down and everything, but like y'all are really rapping. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've learned a lot through just
Yeah,
listening through a lot of so to say country rappers or rappers from South. Like there's a really unique style and flow that y'all all have, and y'all do a lot of storytelling, and there's a lot of like come up stories from like y'all raps. There's a lot of like I'm grinding from the mud. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I think it's like you can do that about anywhere really. To me, like I think it's like the difference in, let's say, MOP in New York versus Nas. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Like I think there's rappers in Georgia that's like you could go with like Crime Mob or Lil Jon, and then you can go with Ti or Outkast. It's whatever you prefer to hear. You know what I mean? Do you like
Right.
the storytelling? But yeah, bro. I always talk about this group. because I feel like they one of the most under celebrated lyrical geniuses to ever do it. And Field Mob, I think a lot of people did exactly what you just kind of said. They heard that twang in Field Mobs and some of the nasally because they kind of had
Yeah.
some high pitch
Right.
stuff, and they got turned on. I don't think they gave them. And I know they was nationwide, globally smashing it for a little while, but I feel like they were really underrated far as their lyrical ability. They
Mm-hmm.
were insanely good with their writing, and I don't think they're celebrated enough. But there's a ton of artists that you know that it's crazy who we latch on to and
Word.
who kind of gets, you know what I mean? It's kind of wild to
Mm-hmm.
me. Like uh, I don't know, bro. It's just a preference thing. Like there's some rappers that are highly popular now that I can't stand. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it ain't
Right.
because it ain't because like they're new age dudes or something. Because I
It's just
like some
not
people that
connecting to you
do
sometimes.
crazy off the. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like why? What is it? Why is
What's
this
this?
popular? Who's buying this?
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
and
That's a
it's, I
fact,
don't mean
man.
it. I don't even mean it as hate. I'm happy to see anybody win,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a preference thing. I think at the end of the day, with all of it.
It's all subjective at the end of the day, I think. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is, and I think the older we get too, it's like we know hip hop does evolve into a young man's game, but we also like to see the evolution of like our older artists, excuse me, or the OGs that have been around before us or for a while. Like we like to see them come around because the music can still be made, you can still make good sound. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is at the end of the day. Now,
Hmm.
I also ask you now too, going into that. Now, do you like performing or do you like being in the studio more? And I know stage presence is very important when rappers perform. And I feel like as somebody who watches you in the music videos and performs, like you have mannerisms, you're very animated in everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you would like to perform more or do you like being in the studio just creating the music?
Man, I love both of them, but the if anybody that's been on stage in front of, you know, it ain't even got to be thousands,
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of people
Mm-hmm.
that genuinely love your shit, like that's one of the best feelings in the world, man. That is one of the best feelings in the world
Right.
when you're up there and you got a crowd rocking
You
with you. And
captivating the crowd.
people say, yeah, when people say like he's got the crowd in the palm of his hand, but sometimes you feel like that. You feel
Word,
like
word.
I've got everybody right now, and this shit, we're going. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
And it's not like a I'm better than you thing. It's a like we all on the same team right now. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? And that's a great feeling. But I'll tell you what, bro, and this is a different thing. Me and uh Target were talking about this a while back. You know, the difference now is a lot of these artists, you get to do the internet buffering, loading a fan base for you before you get there. You
Mm-hmm.
get to put all this shit out. You get to show up and you already have a song that streamed 1.3 million. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's already waiting on that. Maybe they got to sit through your little shitty other songs, but they'll do it because they love that one and they're going to be there and they're not going to give you a hard time. Now you get up there without that fucking internet and without them streams and you start with them first five or six whack ass songs, you ain't gonna make it to your one that hits. You know what I mean? You ain't
Yeah.
gonna get that grace. That. So we're from the era where it didn't matter what's your name? Here's a mic. Do your shit.
Right.
Make them like you. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they don't like you? Okay, sorry. Try
That shit.
next
That shit
time.
better be
You
dope.
know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Hey, go. What's that? You just reminded me of that shit on Eminem. He's like, go home and write till something suspenseful hits
The
you, and
battle
you
of
can
Eight
take the
Miles.
mic
Yep.
home with you. Yeah, yeah. That's how that shit felt back then, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey,
man. The pressure was
that
real.
stage gets long. That stage. Yeah, hey, that stage gets lonely and cold when don't nobody give a shit about what you're doing, man. You just kind of
You're like, oh, I guess I gotta get through these 5 minutes and shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all like tap dancing? Y'all like tap dancing? What a fucking yeah, bro. Hey, if you never had to suffer through that shit, then I don't think you really appreciate. Like some of these people don't realize they're like spoiled ass kids, man.
hmm
They get a record that goes, and then they come out there. I guess maybe it's jealousy. Maybe I'm jealous that they didn't have to cut their teeth like we
Right,
did. I don't
right,
know.
right. It's like you get that instant success, and it's like you didn't know what the work that we had to put in, the blood, sweat, and tears, motherfucker. It's like, god
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, yeah. We used to have to do karaoke for
Right, right.
seven people
We
in a
got
parking lot.
booed.
You ever done that?
You was ever in the back of the fucking parking lot after a concert, be like, yo, listen to my
Yeah,
demo tape and shit.
yeah, yeah,
That's funny,
yeah,
man. That's funny.
yeah.
Speaking
They
of,
hit me in the head with a Reebok. They hit me in the head with a Reebok on stage. You ever had a Reebok hit your head?
oh man, speaking of, what was
It
if you
wasn't
ever
even a good
experienced this?
shoe.
If you ever experienced this, dog, like, have you ever felt like you bombed the performance, or did you ever feel like you didn't like capture that crowd? Like, what was? Did you ever experience that, and what did I feel like?
Man, I'll tell you a story, bro. And it wasn't there was a show. There was a place in Marietta, Georgia. I don't know if it's still there or not. It was called the Red Train. I was talking to Ritz about this years and years ago when he was
hmm
opening up for rehab. He had asked. We were talking about getting up there and getting booed. That's just something that happens to rappers. He had a hilarious ass story. He had an even funnier story to me. But we got up there. Uh, Me and this other cat that I used to do music with, we got up there and we won that shit our first two times in a row. And apparently this is like a tough place to win at. You know what I mean? Like it's a competition. It's a gong show. They got a big gong up there, right?
Oh shit! So if it's whack,
So
it's like Bing.
yeah, if it's whack, you get
Oh
bang. And
shit!
so we had won two weeks in a row, and we went in there, and this was like a title type of thing. We was gonna be the
Uh
monthly
huh.
winner, and we went in there kind of cocky and shit. And man, it was one of the Atlanta Hawks basketball player. It wasn't. I can't remember who it was. He was a guest judge, man. And I always say the wrong person. I always say it was Jason Terry, but it wasn't him. And my homeboy, when I tell this story, he always corrects me, and I can't remember who it was. But it was one of the Hawks basketball players that was up there. I don't even know if Jason Terry played for the Hawks. I don't remember.
He
I
did.
can't
He did.
remember who it
He
was.
did.
Blah.
He did.
Anyway, blah blah blah. Yeah. See, this that Georgia talk. I'm just going through all the details and
You
shit,
know, I got country family
telling you
members, so
exactly how
I'm
my
used to
mind
it.
works.
I'm used to it. You good?
Yeah. so so we get up there on our valiant return. We back. The white boys is back. They fixing to kill it. Let's go. And we get up there, man, and my boy starts singing, and man, uh he was not hitting the notes, dog. I ain't gonna blame him, but he was not hitting the notes. It was like, well, and I was like, oh my God. I'm standing up there with the mic like, fucking what the and so my verse was the second verse, and I used to be able to kind of get the crowd into it. I had some little riding the beat shit I
Damn, you have
did,
to
and I kind
follow
of
up.
got the crowd moving around. And yeah, at the time, I think Jay Z's Big Pimpin' song was popular, so I had a part in there where I kind of threw something like that in it. And anyway, it never made it to my verse, man. The
Oh
basketball
shit.
player got up and he gonged the shit out of us, bro. Bong! And man, I remember that just crushed me, dog. And there was some people on the other side that started laughing and throwing napkins at my boy singing, and I was like,
Damn.
fuck, man, we getting out of here, dog. I was like, just give me my food to go. Give me my food to go,
I don't
man.
even want to
That's it.
stay
I
to
don't
see
even
and look
want.
at this. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Walk
yeah,
of shame it.
yeah. I don't even want this. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was crazy, man. Yeah,
That's
that
funny.
dude. Listen, the- it, when you start out, that's why I'm saying like a lot of people don't start being the greatest rappers in the world. You got to just get up there and try things. You might record an awesome song, man. If you can't get up there and really like sell yourself to people and really do that shit, make people feel it,
hmm
it's just gonna be another song in a hard drive somewhere.
Right.
Maybe now you can go viral with it, but a lot of times you got to get out here and put the footwork in.
hmm
So yeah, man, you have to get up there and you have to have bad shows. I think, it's just like anything in life. You have to have the bad in order to appreciate the good. You have to have the bad shows to appreciate the really
Right,
good
right.
ones.
Man, that's tough, man. I couldn't go through that pressure myself as being a rapper. So I always commend, and once again, I always say I respect the craft because I know all that gets put into it. You know what I'm saying? Because you eventually got to perform it. You got to deal with the pressures of like, oh, this song might not hit, or five people might listen to it, and you might think it's a banger. Like all those things that go on. So the fact that you guys put that work in, dog, I gotta respect it as somebody who's a consumer and just listens. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta respect that.
I appreciate that. My song "Rescue Me," man. We didn't do a whole lot for that video, but I put so much into the writing of that song. I felt
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, man, this is like therapeutic self help music. This is one of the best, strongest songs I've ever
Right.
released. And it did nothing on YouTube. It's gotten
Wow.
like, I think it barely broke 20,000 on YouTube, which
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, I would have been ecstatic to do that. But
Yeah.
now it's like, you gotta keep moving up. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
And so what have you done for me lately, industry, man? You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is for sure. That's absolutely what it is. Now, my next question leading into all of that too, man, which is funny. I love these segues, dog. I love how it works out, man. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out with this. but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but being independent, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you are independent, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so being independent, and I feel like most artists they love being independent, but also want to be on a major label or mainstream because of what I think you had mentioned earlier. Like you get production, you get different connections, different resources, and everything. But do you feel like you would like to be independent because I feel like you have more creative control over your work and your art? Like, which one would you rather prefer? Given the fact that you've stepped in certain doors and you've seen major label, stuff, and then you've also worked independent and grinded for so long, like, what would you prefer at the end of it, independent or, or,
Well,
or major label?
my entire career has really been me or whatever you want to call it, a career, a hobby, whatever it is. My entire music journey has been independent. Even when I was working with the labels I was with, those were independent labels.
Okay.
But I think that a major would have some stuff to offer. And man, look, everybody's so hung up on this narrative of if you sign to a major, you sell your
You're selling
soul
your
and all
soul
that.
in the
And I
Illuminati.
think, yeah, I think that there's definitely bad deals that you can go get with a major right now.
Yeah.
But if you come to a major as a label and you have resources
You have
and
your
you
ducks in a
have
row.
a brand that's moving, yeah,
Hmm.
you have everything together. There's plenty that a major label can. What the fuck you mean? Like even the promoting alone and the social media stuff
Hmm.
alone is like worth being with a major. I don't want to do. I mean, I enjoy doing the stuff I do on my own, things like this, but I can still do this.
Right.
Somebody else can handle the promo of all the physical things and the actual music. I mean, there's a lot of stuff a major can help you do. Booking the shows,
Hmm.
collecting the money, helping the I mean, I don't
Finances,
mean like
man.
reaching, but yeah, helping you with the finances. I don't mean like taking the money from you or nothing, but
Right.
helping all the business side of it, man. I don't know. I wouldn't mind continuing to stay independent. Hopefully, we're massively successful with it and can continue to do it all on our own. I
Hmm.
have no problem going that route with Trailer Made because
Right.
I got there's some really great people over there, and they're my brothers, man, and sister, and they're good people.
Hmm.
So, do I want to stay independent? Yeah, we can stay independent, or we can sign underneath some as a subsidiary to other like I don't think people realize how many artists maintain their creative control
Hmm.
and things like that because they have a product that's working, but
Right.
then they sign underneath someone like Sony who's going to help them take on all the mundane chores and things like that they have to
Hmm.
do. So, if there's something like that that comes across and makes sense, I'm sure we'll deal with it accordingly. You know what I mean?
Right. 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 And that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I mean, I think, for the most part, as a person who's a consumer of the music, I'm always like, I get worrisome of people signing to a major label or being under a major label because I feel like once the product changes. You get what I'm saying? It feels like the product changes. Like you get the promotion, the
Right.
resources, but it feels like your hardcore fans or your loyal fans like always feels like the product changes. And like, do you ever fear that or are worried about something like that if you was across that? Because sometimes that does happen, or you might get shelled, like not you, but people get shelled and like things happen like that. So like that's why I kind of asked that question as well too.
It's like this with me in my situation right now. I got a lot of promoting and selling myself to do before
Hmm.
I even have to worry about that point. You know what I mean?
Right,
I have
right.
to continue to push this brand, push Trailer Made. We have to make a movement out here. Like,
Hmm.
you guys know it, and we're grateful for that. Hopefully, by this time next year, 20 times as many reactors are getting a hold of everything we do. You know what I mean?
Right,
A
right.
100 times as many fans are liking and commenting on, not 100, that's a big number, but still more and more. We have to continue to push, man. And like you just said earlier, everybody's it's a what have you done for me lately type of thing now.
Hmm.
YouTube, all this socials, got to stay active, got to keep promoting. I put out 10 piece just a minute ago, a couple weeks ago,
Right.
to have something to continue to show everyone that's here now. And I'm in the process of trying to wrap up a new EP right now. Then that means I'm gonna have to get down there and shoot with Breadwin, come back, get those
Hmm.
videos, promo them, get them out. It's a never ending, man. People just don't know
Oh, your grind
how
is strong.
much goes into getting how much getting everything done means, dog. And you take away from your family and work. I know people hear us preach about it and talk about it, but everybody like, yeah, yeah, but all you're doing is recording and putting shit out. No,
It's
not really.
deeper
If you
than
care
that.
about it, bro,
Yeah.
you putting a lot into it. You putting a lot of
Hmm.
effort in, and a lot
Hmm.
of people ain't willing to do that, man.
Word. Word. They like the shortcuts, you know what I'm saying? And like that's what I like watching with you guys. Like you guys aren't taking shortcuts with what you guys are doing whatsoever. And just, the impact on your guys' music and like social media and you guys building a following and stuff like that. It seems like you guys are professionals at that, even though like we talked offline, but we're all still very new to this shit, you know what I'm saying? But like, what else are you guys doing to push you guys' brand on like, the social media and like what's helping you guys push that music more? You know what I
Well,
mean?
what's helped? I'll tell you what, dog. Since this stuff happened with this shit, if we want to call it that, I don't
Mm-hmm.
really honestly feel like giving all that shit any more energy. I think the shit's kind of gotten whacked out and fucking stupid over there with some of the shit that goes on with this shit.
Too many
But
internet games.
I'm thankful that that went. Yeah, I'm thankful that that went on because I got to see a lot of a, a lot of people's true colors, and I also had some people step up and be like, hey man, I like the fact that y'all finally had enough of this shit and wasn't scared to put your foot down. And a lot of people have started helping us move, man. And Adam's one of them, man. And I can't say enough good about what Adam Calhoun's done for us,
Mm-hmm.
man. Justin Times putting us on the Redneck Rave this year and helping us
Okay.
get out there like that. And Shaka, FJ Outlaw. There's people that's in our corner, man. That's like that's helping us move, man. We trying to help. We want to all move together. Anybody, Jericho, Danny Boone. We went and worked with Danny Boone in rehab. There's a lot. There's a number of people, man. I know if I already started naming people, but I know there's plenty of folks that I'm gonna miss saying their names, but there's a lot of good people out there, man. Oh, Dusty Lee. I just did a show with Dusty Lee in
Mm-hmm.
Maine, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty's a dope motherfucker, bro.
Word.
Um, the Lax, even though they kind of stick to themselves anymore, they've helped us get in this spot. Me and Target both working with Dirt Rock. But uh, what was the original question, man? I did this, Georgia.
My bad, dog. It was just basically like, how do you feel like, the social media and just like, the push that you guys are doing, like where do you guys see building the brand from using social media? Like where do you guys see the music going from that? Like how do you guys see that approach and how's it helping you guys' music? Which
Just
you
maybe
basically
maybe
answered
building our own stuff.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it, man. I know that you know, ACAL stepping up and co-signing us with how big his platform
Yeah,
is
yeah.
truly it's a humbling thing, man. That dude
Word.
he didn't have to do none of that. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to give a shit about working with none of us, man. I know that you know A lot of people talk a lot of cool sounding shit in music and
Mm-hmm.
say, I help people do this. I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. But they don't do shit
Mm.
when it really counts, you
Right,
know?
right. And I feel like that's a part of the game too, unfortunately. That seems like it's a part of the rap game, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think it's a part of life, though. You know, it is. It don't matter if it's rap or whatever. If there's
Yeah.
somebody at your job that wants to hold you down, they're gonna find a way to,
Mm-hmm.
man. There's
Mm-hmm.
people that's just the way it's gonna be, man. You just have to figure out what's gonna work for you.
Right,
You
right.
know,
100%, 100%. My next question for you, dog, is where did you find the skill set, right, to be like so animated and still have the ability to put the emphasis behind your rhymes while you're rapping? And I know we kind of spoke on this earlier, like you mentioned the likes of Busta Rhymes and Ludacris like that, but are those the only people that you pick those like that stuff up from? Like that's kind of helped, like for me, watch your
man.
creativity.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, through the years when you're in there, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I
No, you
think I
good. I was
knew
good. I was good. I was good.
where you were going with that.
You was good.
Through the years when you're in there on the mic, man, like I remember when I started rapping, I used to try to get this deep voice. I used to be like, like I thought that was some gangster shit to try to talk real low and shit. And I'd hear it play back, and I'd play it for people, and they'd be like, "That's you," and I was like, "Yeah, man, that's me right there." And they're like, "I don't fucking." And I was like, "What? What's wrong, man?" But now, like, I got a buddy of mine I've known since like third grade, man. And when I did the Model Citizen album, which was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
I got a song on there called Best I Can. And I sent him, or he saw that video, and he gave me a call. And he's always been honest with me about my stuff, even in the beginning. Like he'd say, "Hey man, I kind of like this song, but then these other two or three, I don't give a fuck about them. They suck or whatever." And I'm like, "All right, well." He told me, he's like, listening to that, man, I feel like you have found your voice. And it's crazy for me to be, have recorded this long and for him to finally say that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically just getting in there, man, and not being scared to challenge yourself to do different shit. Like now, I'm not even shy. I'll get in there, and if I'm gonna try some real high pitch acapella on a hook, or not acapella, falsetto on a hook, then I'm gonna try the shit. If we
Mm-hmm.
mix it down and it sounds like ass, then delete it. That's it. That's as easy as a delete button. And
Right.
that's what I think a lot of people's kind of scared to do that. But the animation part, yeah, man, watching Buster and Luda and all them, but I developed that because like I didn't really know in the beginning. I didn't start writing parts for me to do some of them stacks and sound crazy. I could do some of these low pitch harmonies or whatever it is, And
Uh-huh.
nowadays, man, it's just got to where when I hear the beat and write my verse or whatever, when I go to do my ad libs, it's almost become second nature. I know what I wanted to do in this part, and
Right. And ad libs are key.
I'm just a fucking nut job, bro. Yeah, yeah. I'm just a fucking nut job, bro. I just do all kind of crazy shit. Some of the shit I send out to Target, I'm like, what'd you think about this? He's like, I don't know, bro. That might be a little too much. That might be a little too much, man.
And it's always like that from time to time, man. That's no problem with that, man. You got to stretch the limits with the music, man.
Yeah. I got a song right now I'm doing, man. And it is probably I compare it to this, and even though this song's fantastic too, but it kind of gives me that vibe for some reason. Big Outcast fan, and I
Hmm.
compare it to like a Andre 3000 Hey Ya type of song, because it's kind of got a boppy little vibe like that. And man, I sang this hook and I did some crazy shit on it. And I got a bunch of different layers to it, bro. And I had it in my phone this weekend, and I was riding up there to that show with Dusty Lee, and I was like, check this one out, man. I was like, it ain't mixed yet. Wait till I get these vocals done right. But listen to the idea of it. And I played him the hook and everything and the verse, and he got about halfway through the verse, and he was like, let me hear that again when it's mixed down better. Cause you can't tell you can't tell what the hell I'm doing. I know it's gonna sound
You're
like
like,
that,
help me,
but
just figure it out first. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah. I don't think you can't be scared to challenge yourself and do something
word.
different.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, my next question is, and this is kind of still in regards to your album. So I noticed that all three of the albums and the compilations that you dropped and everything, you guys have had features that were very homemade. You know what I'm saying? Very in-house. You know, trailer made exclusives and everything. Now, do you have like three? Oh, yeah, give me your three dream collabs that you would like to have on you know future projects or you know in general on a feature that you want to be featured on or have on your album. Are there three particular features that would be like
Um,
dope?
you talking about anybody dead or alive or what?
Alive. We'll go alive. We'll keep it. We'll keep it there for right now. Alive.
um, Man, I would say, being an Outcast fan, if I could get Outcast back together and do a song with them, that would be a dream
mm.
come true.
Okay.
That would definitely be a big dream. But man, I really like Kendrick, bro. I really like what Kendrick does. I think me and Kendrick could make some really
Mm.
funky shit. It would be some different. I like how he kind of has a little bit of the Andre 3000 with the vocal shit that he does,
Uh
the
huh.
crazy little pitched up
The
stuff and
styles and the
things like that.
voices. Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, man, Kendrick's crazy good. And let me see, man, if I had one other person, man, I think Kid Rock is an amazing artist,
Mm.
bro. I know he's
Mm.
I think his range is fire. I always
That's a
Eminem's
sleeper.
incredible. Yeah. Eminem's incredible. Um, all the no-brainer people. Like I definitely wouldn't turn down a record with Jay-Z or
I'm about to say I feel
Nas or
like
any
Jay's coming
of
up.
that.
Nas. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I would never, any of that. E40's still
yeah.
killing it.
Uh
I
huh.
think that Mount Westmore album they did, I think all them dudes are
Hell
dope
yeah.
legends of rap, but I just feel like E40 fucking slid on that record so much, man.
Yep.
He
You talking
killed
about that
that
joint that
thing.
was off Cube's joint? That Mount Westmore joint that was off Cube shit? The
Mount
recent joint?
Westmore, though, it was E40, Ice Cube, Too
Too
Short, and
Short and
Snoop
Snoop
Dogg.
Dogg. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And man, it's like every record, and I talked to Breadwin about this the other day because he's a big Ice Cube fan. That's his favorite rapper,
He's in
and
my
he
top
loves
10.
E40 too. And I was like, man, I feel like E40 killed him, killed the whole album. And he's like, I don't know, man. I think that Ice Cube did his thing on a couple, but man, every song I got that album in the phone. I was playing it the other day, and it's like everything. E40's just wild, bro. I really liked him growing up too, man.
hmm
I thought he was dope. 8 Ball and MJG was a big
Oh,
influence of
yeah,
mine
yes,
too,
yes.
man.
I love MC8 too myself. That's my guy. That's my guy. I'm a
Oh
big
yeah,
Sugar Free guy too, man. I don't know. A lot of people don't give Sugar Free his respect. You know what I'm saying? For the dudes out west.
Brelwin loves Brelwin loves Sugar Free, dog.
Hell yeah. Sugar Free's
I
dope.
think Sugar Free says some of the Sugar Free's hilarious, bro. He'll say something like, "I spit my gum out over there. I told that dumb bitch not to step in it with a shoe, but what you think she did? Stepped in my gum." You know what I mean? It
yes.
sounds
My
fire.
man did dog
It
math,
sounds
talking pimp
fire,
game
bro.
and dog math. Like, and On My Way. If you ever heard that song, On My Way, I suggest go listen to that, dog. Like, he does dog math and pimp terminologies. Like, it's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna check it
You
out.
gotta peep
I'm
that
gonna check
one.
it
You
out,
gotta
bro.
peep that one for sure, dog. That's funny as hell, man. But yeah, nah, shout out to the West, man. I love, you know what's funny is being a guy from up north, man, and rocking with, like, obviously being from Boston, a lot of people are gonna rock with New York sound and stuff like that. I'm the complete opposite. I rock with, like, your region, you know what I'm saying, down south Atlanta, and then I rock with, like, the West Coast heavy. So, like, my ears just different for, like, a lot of music. And I think,
Yeah.
once again, it goes, that's why I gravitate towards y'all so much, man.
Oh, growing up, man. Too Short was fire to me, and I used to. One of my favorite albums I had when I was younger was West Side Connection, bro. Ice Cube and
Bow down.
Mac 10 and Dub C. Yeah, man, I had
Yes,
that whole
sir.
album was dope to me. I
Fire.
love that
And,
album.
and let me ask you, listening to the album, do you feel like that album was like low key just a straight diss track to like towards New York? It was a diss record towards New York. Like I feel like every track was like just straight diss in New
I don't
York
know, man.
because it was like all the critics in NYC bow down. Like there was a few songs when there was like, oh, they talking shit to New York right now.
Let
Like,
me let me tell you how I bet you that album would go to me. That album would go just like Eight Balls Lost to me. And this is what I'm saying. I have not played that album in probably 20 years, much at
okay,
all. But
okay,
the other day, recently, I put in Eight Balls Lost and was amazed at how much just came right back out my
mm-hmm,
mouth,
mm-hmm,
without me. Stuff that I wouldn't even know I remembered is just stuck in there. And I
mm-hmm.
bet if I went and put on that West Side Connection, it'd be the same way. I wouldn't
Oh yeah.
even remember. I can't tell you. I probably can't rap you a verse off Bow Down right now, but if I put it on, I bet I could.
The world is mine, Nick. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I listened to that just
Yeah,
the other day.
yeah, yeah. You bet.
That is my song
You
right
bet.
there, man. I bang with that, man. That was a dope album. A lot of people I think sleep on
Mhm.
that West Side Connection, man. I'm kind of upset that Dub, or not Dub, but Cube and Mac got their differences, man, because I want to see them link back together so bad,
Yeah.
bro.
Man, recently somebody told me that Mac 10 is really that dude
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
Mac real.
you don't wanna
Don't play with
you
Mac.
don't want it with.
Uh
Yeah, yeah.
That's always impressive, man. Now it goes. It's funny that we're talking about all the legends and like the top 10 stuff. Now, there's been a lot of Mount Rushmore conversations and like there's just different Mount Rushmore conversations with everything. Now, it ain't gonna be what you think it's gonna be, but I do want to
All
know
right,
who's on your Mount Rushmore though in general. Like we can say like your rapper Mount Rushmore. Like, what's your Mount Rushmore looking like?
all right. I always know when people ask this, I always for sure know my top two are Tupac and Eminem. They just
Yep,
are. They're
yep, yep.
Eminem was incredible, and Pac was amazing to me, big time influence. My top five, bro. It's really hard for me to not put Jadakiss in my top five. He is
Mm-hmm.
fucking incredible. Um, Big Pun, Big L, both
Oh
them dudes
yeah.
are
Oh yeah.
phenomenal. Uh, Reggie Noble. Reggie Noble is always gonna be mentioned in mine, bro. He is one of the best to me. Him and Method Man,
Facts. I was
bro.
about to say, yeah,
And
Reggie, Jay Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada
Biggie,
Corrupt,
yeah.
Nas, and then
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
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 man.
yeah. He's pretty, yeah. And it's crazy how famous that line is now too, man. I remember
Facts.
when he said that, it was like, fuck, that's so wild.
Hmm.
And everybody likes to say just Andre 3000 when they talk about Outkast.
I like Big
I
Boy,
give
dog.
Andre, bro, Big Boy. They was like
Yin and Yang,
salt
bro.
and pepper, bro. It's like you
Right.
had to have them. You had to have both of them. And Big Boy did that player pimp Southern Savannah, Georgia rap shit better than anybody's ever done it,
Hmm.
dog. He was like,
Hmm.
I'll say it like this: if Georgia had a Pimp C, it was Big Boy.
It was Big
You know what
Boy.
I'm saying?
100%. Do you think
If
Big Boy
Georgia
gets
had a
enough
Pimp
credit?
C, it was Big Boy. Yeah. No, I don't think he don't. I don't think he don't get credit, but I think that everybody, including myself, I've been guilty of this, talks about how crazy good Andre
Andre
3000
is.
is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he is fucking man, dog. Just the way he crafted some of that stuff, I don't think people really understand some of the shit that he's done in some of the verses. It's nuts. It's insane. I
Right.
still catch shit from time to time with him on records he put out in fucking 1998. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Facts.
damn, I didn't realize he was saying this right here.
Hmm.
But
It,
yeah,
it's
man,
it's funny. I still got to get
I
privy to Andre 3G, man.
yeah. Oh, you don't know about him?
No, I know about him, but so here's my thing. Like the regard that everybody puts him in, I'm like, I feel like I guess I never went into the deep cuts of Andre 3G's like, work. It's always been the mainstream, and I think it goes back to like, the South got something to say and the way they marketed Outkast up here. You know what I'm saying? The way marketed, the way Outkast
Aquemini,
was up here was
Aquemini,
crazy.
Aquemini, to me is, and that's probably why I like that record so much. I think that's my favorite hip hop album of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Aquemini to me was Andre's best album
Oh, okay.
because
Is that a solo?
the versatility. It's no, it's Big Boy. I mean,
Oh, it's
Andre
Outkast.
has his
Okay,
best
okay.
parts. It's Outcast.
Got
Andre
you.
has his best parts to me on that album. ATLians was fired oh too, and Stankonia was good. So
Okay, okay.
if you want to go check up on what makes Andre, uh, he's been great with everything he's
Right.
done,
And
man.
everybody says it.
But
That's the thing.
Aquemini
Everybody
to
says
me is
it.
yeah, yeah,
So it's like I don't disregard it, but it
yeah.
goes back to like up here, people that the North wasn't, Boston wasn't playing Outkast like that. So it was like if I didn't hear, Rosa Parks or Rosa Smell Like Poo Poo, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, like it was gonna fly above my radar, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it always goes back to like South got something to say, man. I always respect that. So I just need to get put on. I gotta get taught. So I appreciate you putting me on to. I'm gonna give those a listen for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, check that, bump that Aquemini album, and I'm curious to know when you get back, when we talk again or whatever. Shoot me a message. Tell me your top three tracks you like on that
All right.
joint. Take your
I,
time. You might even have to really that with the way that album works, bro. Seriously, not even like overhyping it, but you might have to run it two or three times before you really realize which one sticks. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Because it's like it's that good. It's
Okay, okay.
like East like Bone Thugs East 99 album, man. Like you might bump that the whole time. You
Mm-hmm.
might think you like Crossroads so much, but then you hear that Mo Murder or
Mo
all the other shit.
bottom,
It's
boom,
like
bottom,
yeah, all
da da
that, man.
dum. Oh,
Those
that's my
yeah,
shit. That's my
yeah,
shit right there. Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Bro, you might
Absolutely.
find something else you like. Yeah.
Oh, I'm very privy. It's just what it goes back to like what you said earlier. Like when you go back and listen to a lot of old shit and like you didn't realize what it was then, but then you go back, you're like, oh, this is who that was, or this is what that was. That's kind of how it is for me with like a lot of those like Bone Thugs and Outkast songs. That's definitely how it is for me for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Bone Thugs, man. Bone Thugs was golly, bro. I think they just put something out again recently. I think they put something new out. But
okay.
man, they're incredible, dog. That talent level is
It's the
insane, bro. You'll
harmonizing and
never
the
have
lyrical
a
abilities, facts, and the double time raps and
man,
stuff.
you'll never have yeah, there won't be another Bone Thugs. Just like there won't be another Beastie Boys, there won't be another UGK, there won't be another
Yeah.
there's just some people you're not gonna be able to replicate. There won't be
Hmm.
another Outcast,
That's a fact. That's a
you know.
fact. Now I got two questions that kind of follow up. So it goes back to Bone Thugs. Now, did you ever hear that song Midwest Invasion with Bone Thugs and Twister? Have you ever heard that? And if you did, how did you feel about that song? And who you think had the best verse or like rap the best? Because I think at the time they was on that track because they had an issue about who rapped faster or something like that. I think if I'm getting the context correct.
Yeah, it was him and Busy Bone was trying to out rap each other. I remember
Hmm.
the song.
Hmm.
I can't tell you one single thing. I had to go back and listen
Yeah, I
to
would
it.
have to listen to
I
it too,
remember
but
the- it was really it was I remember it was so much hype on that track because of
yeah,
that reason right there. Who was gonna out rap who?
yep,
I think it was him and Busy were trying to see who could hold the title or something. And
yeah, yeah.
I don't remember. I had to go listen. I remember the Eternal Thugs with him and with Bone and Tupac, bro. That shit. I
Oh
probably
yeah,
played
Thug
that a
Love was
billion
crazy. Yeah,
times.
I just listened to that the other day for the first
Yeah,
time in like 20
yeah.
years. But I like Notorious Thugs better than that one though. So like with the Bone Thugs
I
features
did.
between the
Hey,
legends, I like that
yeah,
better, dog.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, yeah. Biggie. That's one of my favorite Biggie verses of all time, right
I'm damn
there.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Hell yeah.
So much smoke need oxygen.
Yup.
Yeah, he killed that.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Now my next one, we in the A&W. Like we almost at the end of it. I don't know how much time you got left, and I know I ain't trying to have you burning it up in the studio and shit, man, because I've been there. I've been there. So I ain't trying to have you heating up too long, man. I ain't trying to heat it up too long. But into my
Yeah,
next A&W segment, man, is Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? Since we talking about them, or Cypress Hill.
For me, it's Bone Thugs.
Okay.
I didn't never really, I didn't hate on Cypress Hill. I respect everything they did. I think they were dope as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they had some of my favorite hip hop tracks of all time. I could never really get into their sound personally. That's just
Right,
me.
right, right.
That's just me. I didn't, you know what I mean? There's plenty of dope rappers that I think Nas is one of the best lyricists to ever touch a mic. I think I have numerous Nas songs that I love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever really just sat there and just bumped a Nas album. I know my New York people gonna hate that. I've never really it's just you know what I mean? I would just I would play. I played more like mystical. Even though
Ah,
he's
I love me some
getting
mystical,
locked
bro.
up for all
Yeah,
this.
with that wild stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but I love me the mystical's old school shit. I
And
with
to
the
talk
pen of the
about me
titles.
being animated. Yeah, yeah. The man right here
Yeah.
for me to be animated on the mic, you know, that was kind of he's one of my influences, like
Okay.
mystical Buster Rhymes. You know what I mean? I remember,
Yup.
man, Buster was so fucking crazy, bro. That I
Like
was
Dreaded Buster was the
instantly a
one.
bro. I was instantly a fan of Busta. I didn't realize till later on that he rapped with who was it wasn't a Tribe Called Quest. It was who was Leaders of the New
Yeah, Leaders
School.
of New School. Yeah.
Leaders of the New School.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. My first introduction to Buster was Woo Ha, and man, that
Ah,
video
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I was like, what?
yeah.
This is how I was to the TV as a kid, like this. I was like, who is this guy and what is he doing, bro? And the way
Yo,
he did that, bro, his flow was like, I just disconnect everything, I intercept like all
yo,
that shit. I was like,
listen.
this is crazy,
That's
bro.
a fact.
Uh, so him and ODB, but um, damn, I did it again, bro. What was the question was what now? What was the exact question? Beto, my bad.
Shit, my bad. I mean, shit. I've been drinking and having a good time and chatting it up, so I kind of forgot myself. But I think it was Bone Thugs and Cypress Hill. That's what it was. It was Bone Thugs and Cypress Hill.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I got off on all kind of shit. Yeah. For me it's definitely gonna be Bone Thugs, man.
Okay,
It's gonna be
okay.
Bone Thugs all day with them with that. Yeah.
So I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with you, 75%. Right, 75%. I agree with you, but I will raise you another 25% on this if I ask you to change it with Cypress Hill based off of the fact that I feel like they took out West Side Connection. They battled Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually stood
Yeah.
the testament of like battling one of the best MCs in the game. And actually, in my opinion, I think they kind of
That's
won.
true.
You know what I'm saying? I think they kind of won. So for me, like
Yeah.
because like with the sound, I'm like, yeah, I didn't really bang with the sound too much, but I'm like, once I heard that battle and I like disses and stuff, shit like that, I drew more towards them because of that. And I'm like, Bone Thugs is like a different category because I'm like, they're singing, they're harmonizing, and they're not battling like that. But I feel like when they did with the Twisted situation, going back to that, I'm like, oh, well, it didn't really impress me like that. And I know that was friendly and all wax, but I'm like, you still got to do your thing a little bit. So that's how I always separated it for me. I always looked at Cypress Hill as like the better group regarding that,
Yeah.
if we're talking about rapping. That's all.
I never had a Cypress Hill CD growing up. See, man, back
No,
then
me
you had
neither.
like, the DJ Clue joints and
hmm
the DJ Drama joints, and you
K
had
Slays,
all
the
the
K
DJ
Slays, and
kind,
P
and
Cutters.
I would have Cypress Hill joints on there that I remember Cypress Hill on the Friday soundtrack. Roll
Yep,
it up,
yep.
light it up, smoke it up, inhale,
Inhale,
exhale.
exhale.
Like I used to love that shit. I used to love that. I used to love Insane and remember all the stuff they did,
Yep,
man.
yep. Rap
They did the
superstar.
song with Eminem when Eminem was you want to be a rap superstar
Mm-hmm.
and live
Mm-hmm.
large, a big house, a nice car. And I mean they're dope, but I didn't really bump their stuff that much. Maybe I
I'm
need to
hip.
go back
I'm
and get
hip.
some really.
I'm hip.
Yeah.
And then the next one here, we still in the A and W world, man. We still in A and W world. So for mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? As far as mixtapes now, with the best, in my opinion, I think the best mixtape rappers out there were Lil Wayne and 50 Cent. Now, if you had to pick between the two, who you going with, 50 Cent for mixtapes or Lil Wayne for mixtapes, and why?
Oh man, damn. It's gotta be Lil Wayne though because he's crushed them, man. 50 Cent's fire though.
Yeah.
The only reason I would pick Wayne over 50 is I'm a punchline dude, man. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
punchline dude. I like when rappers get clever with that. And 50's insanely sick too, but Lil Wayne, I just like some of the shit he done. Now that being said, I just listened to the Carter Six, and man,
Very
I don't
disappointed.
know, bro.
Very
I
disappointed in
don't
that.
know.
And I'm glad you bring that up,
I
man.
don't know, man.
Because and you don't have to answer
Yeah.
too much into this, you know what I'm saying? Because I know how that go, you know what I'm saying. But as a fan of like listening to it, I feel like are we in that weird stage right now with Wayne where like I think a lot of people are saying like there's no substance, there's no growth. It still feels the same from like 2008, 2009. Like it still feels like mixtape Wheezy, which we
I
always
don't think
ask
it's the
for.
same. I don't. I think it might be similar to what you said earlier about a label getting a hold of your creative control.
Mm,
I don't know if he's got any of that going on. I don't know if he's got any of that going on. But what a lot of people, I feel like a lot of rappers and things make the mistake of trying to recreate something that worked. You know what I mean? They're
right.
trying to do that. And I think he tried to go that route with some of these tracks. But
Mm-hmm.
like, take the Big X to plug joint, man. You should have just not tried to get all funny and with that and just fucking made it a Big X to plug type of track.
Right.
Just
Right.
rode that shit instead of doing that squish, squish, squish shit, whatever the fuck he did
I
on
like a
there. And
deep dish. I like it when it squish,
yeah,
squish,
that
squish. Yeah, I thought that shit was funny, but it brought me
yeah,
back.
man.
But and it's funny you say that because I think the first 5 tracks was like it was good rapping from Wayne, and I think it fell off right around what we're talking about at that track because after that I think it was tough because I feel like it wasn't really like a rap album. It was more or less a rebirth album. It felt more like rebirth, and I was like, this ain't really what I'm trying to hear right now. So I'm feeling you exactly on that.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm gonna go back and listen to it again. But my first impression, I was like, man, I don't know, bro. This
Yeah.
just don't feel as good as those other shit. But Lil Wayne is definitely one of the dopest rappers to ever touch a
Facts,
mic, bro.
facts.
His old shit, and he's got that real G's moving silence like
Like
lasagna. That'll be one of the
lasagna.
greatest. That's
Yeah.
one of the greatest, one of the all time greatest bars in my mind. He's had a number of things like that. I'll tell you what Little Wayne is really good at doing. He is good at taking commonplace words and flipping them like I don't know, man. He might say something about a door lock and twist it up to where it's like he might say it change the door lock to meaning like a dreadlock or so. He like flips
Mhm,
it. He
mhm, mhm.
flips it to where it's like
He's a wordsmith.
just like little commonplace words. Yeah, he's really good with that dog, and it's not like sometimes I feel like I write some shit where I'm way out in fucking left field with it, and I'm like, man, see, this will link to this. It'll be like like fucking the Hubble's telescope, and then it'll link to like a fucking toothbrush. You know what I mean? And my buddies are like, I don't fucking nah. But Lil Wayne's good about keeping it simple and flipping it, putting a spin on it.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, I think Wayne is still better on previous mixtapes than 50.
Okay, okay. I think I'm gonna stand with 50 on that. And I think for me with 50 it's more the sounds. You know what I'm saying? It's more the sound, that New York sound, and it was the consistency of just being able to flow, talk that street shit, talk that shit that was more relatable, I think. And that's really what I resonated
Mm.
with 50 during the mixtape era. And I liked Wayne more or less like I think Dedication 3, No
Oh
Ceilings
well, wait a
era.
minute now. You got me thinking now about 50's. 50 did that shit with that How to Rob joint. That was a
I'm trying to tell you.
mixtape joint, wasn't it?
Yeah, mixtape circuit time, man. You know what I'm saying? Power of a dollar. You know what I mean? Like he had a lot, man. He had a lot going on.
Damn, man, I ain't even. God, I kind of slept on that. I was thinking about like after his career kind of started the mixtape shit, but really
Yeah, no,
he really
before that,
killed
that
it with
mixtape circuit was
mixtapes
crazy.
too, man. I
Yeah,
don't.
man.
Still though, I can't say that Wayne's no ceiling shit wasn't insanely good.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know, man. Fuck you, Beto. These shits are too tough, bro.
You know what's funny is I have my man Uncle Ray say the same shit, man. It gets like that with them A&Ws, dog. It gets tough. It gets tough, man.
You know, I wasn't even until you just said 50. I totally forgot about that How to Rob mixtape. I need to go back. I need to go get those old albums, him and Wayne's, and
Hmm.
play them again.
Get a real
You know
assessment
what?
on it.
Now that you contradicted me there, you're gonna make me have to go back. I'm gonna go back and revisit those, man. I'm gonna see if I can find them on Apple Music. I don't even know if
Okay,
they on
okay.
there.
They might be
I'm
actually.
gonna
They
see if
might
I
be.
can
No
find them.
lie. And when you go back, let me know what you feel about them, dog. Let me know. Hit me up in the messages for sure.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do a redo. Let me check that out again.
And then I got another one for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? You might be saying fuck me again. You know what I'm saying? You might be saying it again, but I got another one which is no limit or cash money.
Uh, I'm not gonna discredit. You know, everybody. I'm a big Pastor Troy fan too. And when Pastor Troy took No Limit to War, it was absolutely crazy. That's one of the craziest things in hip hop that went on. That story don't get talked about much. I did recently or I saw an interview where Troy talked about how dicey those times were for him when
It wasn't
he
so
was
peachy and
taking on
creamy back
No
then,
Limit
yeah.
Records. It wasn't
Nah.
it wasn't just a rap thing, bro. It
Nope.
wasn't,
It
it
was
could have
deep in the
went really,
rap.
really bad.
Facts. There was real
Yeah.
politics
Yeah.
involved. I did my
Yeah,
research on that.
yeah, yeah. You start fucking with people's money like that, you fucking with global money right there. You
Hmm.
fucking with real money. Um,
Absolutely.
but I won't discredit what No Limit did, man, because Master P and them built a fucking amazing empire. But I liked Cash Money. I bought plenty of No Limit stuff. Yeah, this could be a FU Betos thing too, because you mentioned about that.
You're welcome, bro.
About that, and you asking me to pick sides in the same state too. So I'm gonna get marked up when I go there by one or the other. I don't know, but man, you know, when Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys did all that, and BG, bro, with that
BG
Chopper
was my
City
favorite,
albums.
man.
Oh my
Yeah, dog.
God,
Hell
bro,
yeah.
those Chopper City albums.
Fire.
Yeah, Juvie with the G code and the
Hmm.
400 degrees was so fire, bro. That production back then was wild, bro.
Fire. And the videos
That
that came behind
production,
them
man.
too.
I had I had a 15-inch speaker in my car, man. The box was not even big enough for it. I got it built cheaply or whatever. Man, I used to about bust the windows with that 400 degrees, man, because that shit was ah for me it was Cash Money. I got another quick story. I opened up for them in Statesboro, Georgia too,
Oh, that's
and
fire.
man, they brought. I remember they before they came in, they pulled up before they came in. They was like, all right, everybody to the side of the stage, get off the stage, because back then, man, you used to get done with your opening act. You used to try to hang out and shit in
Right,
the
they like
back
get
of the
up out of
stage,
here.
like I don't meet one of these motherfuckers. I have my demo CDs on me or whatever. Like I'm about to give somebody a fucking CD right now. So they came up there and they was like, get off the stage. And so it was like, all right, fuck it. Let's stand right here on this ramp. It was a ramp to the stage. So I was like, yeah, we off the stage. Fuck them. So we stood there and we kind of sat in where you couldn't really see that we was hanging out. And so Cash Money came on, man. And I remember the first dude that walked up was Slim. Uh and he had this big cash. That's the first time I saw like real diamond blasted jewelry and shit.
uh.
And dude walked up and he had the big Cash Money chain. I'm sitting there by my boys and I'm like, look at this shit, man. Look at this fucking chain, man. This is this is real life shit, bro. These are real rappers, dog. And it was the big timers and Manny Fresh and
Okay,
Birdman
okay.
came up, and bro, like 30, 40 motherfuckers came up with them, and they just filled the stage up. It went from being nobody up there. Slim like walked in, he like did the patrolling, checking out the scene. Okay, everything's cool, and then bam, it's an army of people on stage. They had was rocking so much. I think Birdman had a girl sitting on his shoulders while he was doing his set, and Manny and them was up there. Everybody, it was when they had Gator
Oh,
boots
that's
and
when
the
it was
ten
popping,
thousand
popping.
Gucci
Yeah, this is
shoes.
like right after the Big
Yeah,
Timers
man,
album
God,
too.
that shit was.
I got
Yeah, they
that
was
working
on like
shit. Yeah,
TRL. Yeah, yeah, they was like number one or two on TRL, and they was in this little small college town. And
shit.
bro, they had so many people that they had the the DJ setup was on stage. They was making the shit skip. They was jumping around, so it
Wow.
like fucked their setup. So they did like two two songs. They did that one, whatever, I can't remember the name of that one. They did that one, and then they was done. Birdman was like, "Yo, baby, we can't be up here with the DJ fucking up like this, man. Come on, let's get out of here." And they fucking left. They left, dog, and like I know, like no, I'm sure nobody was gonna be like, "No, sir, you're not gonna leave," because
Right.
that wasn't gonna work. You
That
know what I
wasn't
mean?
happening.
So yeah, yeah, that wasn't gonna work. But I just thought it was awesome to be like, a foot or two away
Word.
from real rappers with real jewelry and shit. I'm like, look at these dudes. These dudes wearing like $100,000 fucking chains, bro.
That's funny. And all it did was inspire too. That's what it did. It inspired the hell out of y'all, man. Y'all done brushed shoulders with a lot of people, it sound like,
Yeah,
man, which is fire, man.
yeah.
That shit is definitely
Well,
fire.
you do opening acts for people, and back then and still now, the guys come out that really do this shit when it's their job. They don't give a fuck how good you are as an opening act. I don't blame them, man. They're
Right.
on the road. They're meeting 100 fucking people like you. Oh, you're a good rapper, cool. Go out here and sell something and make me give a fuck about you.
Right, right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Like, so it never really. You can try to shop shit to people. Hey, man, listen, I'm a real dope rapper. They don't care.
They got to see it. So what can you sell me? You know what I'm saying? You got to
Yeah,
sell it, huh?
yeah,
Word, word. And
right.
then
Yep.
and then my next question, man, and this might set you up again, but this is probably the last one of my A and W's. But is it UGK or 3 6 Mafia?
Fuck you, man. I'm gonna go with man. You know what's crazy about the stuff you've asked, with the exception of the Cypress Hill joint? You've almost paired these up so much to where I bump like these guys equally. But 3 6 Mafia, I'll say this: 3 6 Mafia was there when I was younger, and I didn't get into the UGK until like they'd already been established till later on. But going back, like uh, the Riding Dirty albums, one of my favorite hip hop albums, and I've heard a ton of them through the years. I don't know what I've owned of theirs. See,
Hmm.
man, that was a lot of the troubles too. Now looking back, I don't know. We used to burn all them CDs off Napster
Word,
and shit,
Napster,
man, off
LimeWire,
LimeWire. Yeah, and then
Kazaa.
you don't even know if it's labeled the right shit. I just,
Facts.
hey man, put on track seven that UGK song. I don't know what album
Yep.
that was off of. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I had a whole fucking suitcase of burnt shit. I would sit there for hours and just get mixtape shit and underground rap shit from artists I probably can't even tell you some of them. But man, long story short, yeah, it'll probably be fuck. That's hard, dog. I don't. I can't do that, man. I'm not picking that. I'm not picking that, bro.
I just stumped
Because
Simple Man. I done got him stumped.
they both are fire, dog. I like both of them for different reasons.
Word, word. Well, I've succeeded at what I've been trying to do. I wanted to
Uh,
get somebody to be like, nah, I can't answer this. So you did a good job. I yeah, appreciate it.
yeah, I can't do it. If I gave an edge to anyone, I would edge UGK a little more because they have some of my favorite, like that uh one day track. And recently, Brett, I think somebody corrected me on this because I always thought it was the Isley brother that sang that hook. One day you're here, baby,
Okay.
and then you're gone. You know what I'm talking
I know
about?
exactly what you're talking about, but that almost sounded like Ronald
Yeah.
Isley the way you did that shit. But
I thought it was. I thought it was the Isley brother, but I think. Breadwin, bro. Anytime I have a question about hip hop, I go to Breadwin. Breadwin knows MC Skipper Rock down the road. You know what I'm saying? This dude
Right, right.
knows everybody
He's
on
like a
earth that
musical
ever rapped,
dictionary type
dog.
of shit.
And
Word.
he's got a ton of them, bro. Every time I ride with him, I hear 40 rappers I never knew existed. And anyway, that's one of my favorite rap songs ever made. And what's bad about that is I can't even tell you who the feature. Actually, I can tell you the feature on there is a guy named like Mister 431 or Mister 421. I think that's his name. Fuck, I'm probably fucking that up. Everyone's gonna kill me. But that song is one of my favorite hip hop songs ever. I put that in probably my top 10, and
Okay,
that's a
okay.
UGK track. Yeah,
That's dope. That's dope. Now, we're wrapping up almost just about, and I know you sweating up a storm in that motherfucker, so I am definitely not gonna hold you up too
I'm
much
good,
longer,
bro.
bro.
I'm
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
Sweating's good for you, man. Sweating's good.
This is true. This is true, man. Now, this is back into like going into just what you put into like your art and your work and just your albums and everything. And I know a lot of artists say that like their first album is their best album. So I guess I want to ask you like, what is your first like what is your favorite album that you've released?
Um, I used to say that's funny. I got a copy of this right here. I used to say it was this one, the Bennett album. I used to
Okay.
say it was this one because that backyard joint off 10 pieces on there, and I got a song with the Lax on here, and I got a song called Clouds about my grandmother dealing with dementia,
Mm-hmm.
grandmothers plural, and a song called Valley that's biblical. Anyway, I used to say it was that one, but I really think my favorite top to bottom work of mine is probably Model Citizen. I like that album a lot.
Okay.
I think I did. I think I made a solid album when I made that one.
Nice. And what
And
made
that's
that?
even
Go ahead.
and that's even with me like recently releasing Underdog and and doing the coldest EP and Grindstone and
Mm-hmm.
those were my most
Grindstone was
recent
fire.
ones. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I still feel like that Model Citizen. Now I think Grindstone's got some tracks on it that got slept on. A lot of my shit's been slept on, but that's
Mm-hmm.
that's because I need to promote better, get more popularity, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that ain't my newest joint either. But I think that Model Citizen album was a solid product.
Word, word, word. Now also still on your albums a little bit. I had a question, and I was reviewing your album, and I listened to like the whole thing, obviously, but I wanted to know if there was a connection between the first track and the last track. Did you tie in all the loose ends with 500K plus home? Because I felt like the hook was like finally a place that I can call home, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit and stuff like that. And it sounded like a journey that was like a tie into like what sounded like you were spending money and stuff like that in the beginning. I felt like I was reaching, but I wanted to know if there was
Right.
any significance between 500K and home.
Um, 500K. I just wanted to open the album up with a banger. I love that track. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that track's got good energy, and I think I wrote some good punchlines on there.
Yep.
Plus, it's a brand new joint. So if
Okay.
people
Okay.
clicked on that album, I wanted them to hear my most current how I sound right now. You know what I
Got you.
mean?
Got you.
So I put it number one, and then Home, when it was released, I'm pretty sure that was the last record on the Higgs Field album that it came out on years and
Mm-hmm.
years ago. And it always feels like a good ending to an album. That's why I put it on the end originally.
It was a good
And
end. I
I
liked
felt
it.
like it belonged. Yeah, I felt like it belonged on the end of this one because all the other ones kind of have more
Mm-hmm.
energy than that.
And it's great. And it's funny you answered
So
that because
yeah,
I'm
I
sitting
guess
here like, damn, I forgot it's a compilation too. So it's like, I gotta remember that. It's not like a whole album piece of the compilation and
you
you're
know
pulling
what
things
though with
together.
you Hey, you know what though? With you saying it like that, I don't know. That is kind of wild because it's like I start with the newest and I end with the oldest, and I don't think I
Mm.
even meant to do it that way. I don't think I even thought about that, but maybe subconsciously I did for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. It's all about that perspective, man. Maybe I unlocked something new.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you did, bro. Yeah.
Now, is there anything that you guys like you and Trailer Made got planned for the future for like the fans and just any tours that you guys got going on? Do you plan to ever come up north? Like if you was to perform like somewhere like have you ever performed in Boston, for example? Like would you are you ever planning stuff like that to be in like major cities, so to
I
say?
don't know if I don't know if I performed in Boston for in 2016 through well 20 what was it? When did it start? 2013, I think, through 2016 into 2017. Me and Target toured all over the place with the Lax for a
Mm-hmm.
little while. They took us on the road, and we did a couple shows on our own, headlined a couple things here and there, and we went all over the nation. I was blessed to do that. I'm still grateful to them for that, for those experiences. And I don't remember if we went to Boston. I know I've been up to Maine twice with the Lax. I know we went to Connecticut. I want to say we went to New Hampshire. I have a shirt in here
Okay.
with all the actual spots on there, but I don't remember. But upcoming things we have right now. Um, I got some merch in here right now. I haven't put it online yet because I'm waiting because I want to bring it to actual shows and I want people that have seen me live to be able to leave with something. You know what I mean? I feel like a
Right.
lot of times that connects more than just putting something online and selling it all. Right now I have a
Mm-hmm.
limited amount, so I want to take it with me. We're doing the Redneck Rave. Also the beginning of July, I think I have a show in South Carolina. Now to answer your question about getting on the road and being up that way to Boston, I'm going to say it like this. Stay tuned and we will see what the rest of this year holds
Okay.
because that's as much as I even know right now. So we're gonna see.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. I think you still see me. You still see me here? Started acting up a little bit. We good? You good? You good over there? Think it froze out on
Yo,
both ends. Yep. We good? Uh-oh. Think something might have happened. Something might have happened real quick. Let me know if we good. I see you moving over there, but I'm not sure if I can hear you though. Oh, it's doing weird things. Hold up. Hold on, chat. Just double checking. Got a little weird for a second. But if you're back in, simple man, let me know. Let me know.
hey, can you hear me, dog?
Yep, I hear you now. Can you hear me? How about now?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. You kind of faded in and out a little bit, but I hear you a little bit. It's a little choppy on your end.
I think my phone got too hot.
Oh, that Georgia Heat, man. That Georgia Heat. We good now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. I think I got you now. We good? You got me? You hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yep. We right back into it. We right back into it.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I got you. Yep.
Yep. We good. We back into it again. But yeah, man. I think as you were saying with Trailer Made and everything and
But
just the tour
yeah,
day. Stay
man.
tuned. Yeah.
This can be a big year before it's over.
Nah, and I'm looking forward to everything that you guys got in store for this year, man. I'm definitely keeping a close eye on that, man. I'm paying attention, man. I'm listening to all the music and catching up to everything that you guys is doing, man. And I'm just really appreciative of just once again even connecting with you guys. You guys are humble, group of individuals, man, you guys definitely reach out to your fans and connect with your fans, which I think is fire. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of artists do that, independent or major. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something that's gonna 100% build your fan base. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's fire as well too, man. So
Thank you, man. We're grateful for everything y'all are doing to help us. Anytime you just, commenting on something on IG or whatever, bro. I'm thankful to out there and you're helping us support our music, dog, and we are grateful for that.
yes, sir. I'm here for the equal support, man. I think we all here to support each other, man. And most importantly, is just to get you guys' music out there, man. You know what I'm saying? And get you guys' brand out there, and also, build the brand over here, man. You know what I'm saying? So we, one hand washes the other at the end of the day, man. And y'all keep dropping that dope shit, man. Y'all keep doing trailer made things, and y'all keep out rapping each other, because I know that y'all is competing every time y'all on them damn tracks.
Every time, every time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
I
But
think I need to come. I don't know if this internet. I don't know if this internet's fucking up or what, dog.
that's where I'm at too. I'm like, whatever it said, I'm like, I think the internet's messing up. I think that's the internet telling us, like, we might have to wrap it up, whatever the case is, and stuff like that. But if I can get you back on to have a proper piece out, we
Yeah,
can make it happen. But I guess the internet's telling us, like, it's like
yeah.
fuck this today.
Hey,
My dude, always a
yeah.
pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with it, bro.
Damn, it's crazy that this is happening on the outro. It's wild that this is happening on the outro right now. Um, but I definitely appreciate you, dog. Let me try to minimize the screen a little bit and see if it's a little better that way. But 100% I appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely be reaching out in the near future, man, and I'll be continuing to listen to y'all dope ass records, man. And I'll be connected with Hard Target and Crowny and everybody
Can you
as
hear
well
me,
too.
Beto?
Not really. I ain't gonna lie, not really. Not too much, man. It's getting real weird. It's getting real weird right now. But
All
yeah,
right, dog. Thank you
yo,
for having me,
my
bro.
guy. Yes, sir. You know it, man. We'll chop it up for
Yeah,
sure,
man.
dog. We will chop it up. Well, goddamn, that was a great talk for what we can hear right now. I think everything is acting a fool. Well, goddamn, it looks like Streamlabs got real weird on us, folks. Streamlabs got real weird on us for a minute, but that was a dope interview, dope chat with Simple Man. Unfortunately, we couldn't end it the proper way, but I hope you guys definitely enjoyed it, man. I appreciate you guys sliding into the live, man. I appreciate you guys, coming in, chatting it up, man, and everything else. How'd y'all like that though, man? You know what I'm saying? How'd y'all like it? We still here right now. That didn't end everything, but I think we had to end that because Streamlabs just got real sick. I don't know what happened with Streamlabs right there, but we was concluding though anyway, dog. But big shout out to Simple Man, good dude, humble dude, man, and I wish the best for his career, dog, and what he's doing with this music thing. And big shout out to Taylor Made as well too, man. But how y'all doing tonight? Everybody good? Stoned. I do not stream on Twitch. I just be streaming on Streamlabs, and I be using the StreamYard joint, and that's really about it. I have a Discord, but I haven't really figured out the Discord like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks way too complicated, but I got to sit down and figure it out. Hazel, Kim, LC, Elena, I appreciate all you guys coming in here, man. I appreciate you guys all being in and enjoying the conversation on the couch, man. Hopefully, I can get somebody else on here, man. Who do y'all want to see me try to get on to the couch next time? Because we are concluding this episode in this fourth installment of BITO'S Couch Potato Podcast, which was another great one, man. 103, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, he was telling me he was doing it off the phone. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk offline. I'll be like, yo, just download this thing, man, and use that. But but you know what I'm saying? I get it though, man. I get it. Yeah, the outro. I wanted that to be a little better, dog. But Streamlabs, I guess they were saying our time was up, man. Our time was up. You know what I mean? It was what it was, though. But I love that conversation, man. That was dope. Big Dizo. All right. I gotta learn a little bit more about Big Dizo too, but I definitely want to do because I heard that song he dropped as well too, and he's actually the newest member, so I may want to hop on and chat with him as well too, man. Potheads, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hard Target, I'm definitely trying to get Hard Target on there. Yeah, let me get a nice little list, man. I got goals and shit like that too, man. I want to get some folks to chat with, man. So Hard Target, Dizo, Dirty. So it's funny, y'all. I'm trying to get the trailer made. All the members, like I said, I'm trying to get trailer woo. We're gonna do them individually because I'm like, I know I can only handle one person at a time. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I'm gonna definitely try to get in contact with all of them. Nah, it's Pearson KG Stone. Pearson KG. Crowny. Anybody from TM? That's easy work. We good. There's a lot of people I want to chat with from TM too. You know, so that ain't a problem. That ain't a problem. Yeah, I've been trying to work on the Millie's joint, man, for quite some time, man. I'm trying to get Millie's on here, man. I'm trying to chat with Benzino, man. I'm trying to shoot for the stars out here, man. I know those are long shots, man, but I'm definitely trying to have that conversation with Benzino as well because for one, I just feel like hip hop community be disrespecting Benzino as far as like his legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop opinion and rap opinion is one thing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't agree with everything that my man be saying about certain things in regards to, particular artists and everything, but I still respect the legacy and the contribution that he has had in hip hop. And on this channel here, we spread all that over here, no matter what the hip hop opinion is or what fan bases may think. I think you can learn a lot as well too when you have those conversations versus when you're super plugged in to strictly the music or you're so infatuated by the fan that you don't want to get into what the other person is about. And that's something that, for me, I've always stood on. And I've always said this too. I think out of everybody that's battled with Eminem, I think Benzino does have the best tracks. And I'm not saying that ever because I want to really get him on this platform. It's because I've been saying that consistently for years before this channel, during this channel, and before I even had the idea of wanting to be like, I want to chat with this dude too. But, and it's also because I'm from Boston and I know a lot about what Benzino has meant and what he's done in Boston as well too. So it's more of a Boston connection thing. And Millie's is just because I'm a fan, you know what I'm saying, as well too. Like, I just respect his grind and I've been keeping up with Millie since like 2007. So I'm about to say, Gone, the rapper, he did a track with Shaq and stuff like that, right? If we're talking about the same Gone, he's dope. He's definitely dope. Yep. All right, we're talking about the same one. Yeah, that Eminem tribute was fire. That joint was definitely fire. I did that reaction too. As well, Stoned. I actually did that reaction. I did a few Gone reactions at this point too. I done the Eminem one. I did the joint with Tech Nine. I did his solo joint, and I think I'm at three because the rabbit hole stopped at that point. But y'all can definitely slide me some of those at this point too. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't really reacting tonight. We are concluding for the night as well because I got some videos and reactions that I want to edit and drop for y'all on the channel throughout the week and tomorrow as well. But I'll definitely be back on live throughout the week and everything for sure. So. I'm also trying to I'm also trying to talk with Shoe Gang too. That's also on my bucket list of people I really want to chop it up with and really talk like that rap shit. Because they even had those barbershop conversation songs as well out there. Like that's a bucket list as well too. Like, and I just love their rapping ability. So Shoe Gang is somebody who I'm definitely trying to chop it up with, man. Hopefully that happens in the near future. But we gonna keep growing and grinding regardless. You know what I mean? Because if they not banging with me now, they might bang with me eventually, you know what I'm saying? That's not talking specifically Sugar, that's talking about anybody that's on my bucket list or whatever. Like, you heard the interview, you know what I'm saying? We heard we was talking about it's manifestation, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna manifest that I'm gonna speak with these people. And it's not even gonna be on some weird shit or nothing like that. It's gonna be on some straight like, hey man, I'm a stand up, respectable dude. I ain't on no weird shit. If we are gonna have the conversations, like we can have adult conversations despite our opinions, and that's more or less for Zeno out there. You know what I'm saying? That's a been Zeno message. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Because I really do want to chat with that dude for real. Because despite my opinion in regards to just the Eminem and Zeno situation, which I would love to have conversations with that, but I feel like we ain't gonna have that conversation, which I don't care because I think there's a lot more to his career than Eminem, and that's why I really want to talk to him as well. But yeah, no, OT 103 would be fire too. I've been wanting to chat with OT, but I know OT busy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like all these dudes be busy as hell, and at the end of the day, I'm just little old Beto on the couch, and they probably like, yo, who fuck this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? But they gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? All of these people will find out. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that all these people that's wondering who I am and what I stand for and what I'm about, they gonna learn. They gonna find out, and they gonna see that it ain't on no weird sucker internet shit. And this is gonna go. This is gonna go. The conversations will be had. The talks will be had. We don't go for the viral click, super weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? We have real dialogue, real conversation over here. And I hope that that message gets through to people like Benzino, people like Millie's, people like Shoe Gang, people on my bucket list. Maybe I gotta grow it a little bit more because they're like, yo, what's your account? Because I know everything's about the numbers. So if I gotta play that game, you'll see me soon. That's really what it is. They'll see me soon. I'm confident in that. Very confident in that. But yeah, I like what you guys are saying right now, man. Let's push for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best way to do that is to push for your boy Bito to get these people on the couch, you know what I'm saying? Not even physically, but on the live, you know what I'm saying? Because we do have the conversations, we do chop it up. I'm pretty sure if the internet didn't mess up, I was gonna go for another hour because like I said, we chat in here. It ain't just really like a whole like, oh, we can't talk or the conversation ain't gonna go long or it's gonna be weird. Like, nah, we gonna politic. You know what I'm saying? I got my questions, but those with those questions comes conversations out of those questions as well too. So we want all those people here, man. We want all those people. Appreciate that, Stone. I can send the links too in the chat, but if you already gonna go ahead and go do that, that's easy too. You know what I'm saying? That's no problem. That's no biggie. Word, word. But yeah, man, definitely for y'all, man, hit me up on IG, dog. Yeah, no, OT be in my lives a few times, man. He definitely be in my lives a few times. He pops in, man. We definitely have connected on the live side of things. I'm trying to connect with him on a live, on a one-on-one, on a chat, because I really like talking about rap and hip hop and shit too, and just people's story and just their background and stuff too, because I think everybody has a story and everybody's story needs to be heard. He mostly pops into Southern reactors. That's crazy. I'm not a Southern reactor. I'm a Northern reactor. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy up north, man. I'm from the B, but it looks like he fucks with the being heavy though. It look like OT fuck with the being heavy, but Philly's kind of like right there, like right next to the border of heading down south, so it only makes sense as well too. So, But yeah, man, I think this is where we're gonna conclude, man. I appreciate all you guys sliding through, man. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be having some reactions popping out throughout the week because I got a lot in stock. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of reactions in stock, so definitely be on the lookout for those. Hit the notification bell, spread the word, let people know about the couch, man. Send people over my way. If they rock with my vibe, they gonna hit the button. If not, we gonna keep growing and eventually they might. But until then, man, y'all have a great night. I appreciate y'all sliding through. And this is the fourth installment of BITO'S Couch Potato podcast, man. And I think this was a good one, man. I'm glad to have my first artist on there. It was an honor having Simple Man on here, man. And big respect to Simple Man for coming on and taking the time out of his day to chat with your boy Bito. And I wish that intro would or that outro would have been a lot smoother and better. But internet be internet and sometimes, and I know how it should be on the phone because I had that same joint happen with Ray, dog. But this is where I conclude. Y'all have a great night, man. And I will be back tomorrow, dog. All right, we out. Peace.